Live from the Injured on the Go Just Call Mo studio.
It's a blast!
It's Orlando's own Tom and Dan.
Hello. This is your Mediocre Time with Tom and Dan program. We hope that you will find our presentation precise, joke heavy, and just right. Thanks.
Welcome to the Friday free show of A Mediocre Time.
Yeah! It is another edition of A Mediocre Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Dan.
I'm Tom.
Sam, is it a TD Friday?
It is, in fact, a TD. Oh, I got it. I got the COVID.
We all have it. My boy's a little
No, I
rat.
tested. I don't have it.
No, you
But
don't
man,
have it.
I'm all messed up.
Yeah, Sam's got
all
a-
these sinus issues.
Yeah, Sam's got
Help.
We got it. It is, it's TD Friday. Ladies and gentlemen, on the couch, you know him and love him from the Orlando Talk Show with Ross McCoy. It's Ross McCoy.
We're back to there's one person in every group coughing
Yeah.
and sneezing everywhere.
Exactly.
It was a nice couple of years
Yeah.
where we didn't have that, but it's back.
Yeah.
I've got a lot of friends that are declaring to me that they're going to continue to wear the mask on a plane because they didn't get sick. Totally fine. Don't care. You don't need to tell me you're doing that. That's fine. And I'm not going to judge you for doing it. You want to do it, do it. I don't care.
We live in Florida. We're free here. You can make
Yeah.
your own choices.
I don't see a lot of people here doing it, but I do see people that go like a lot of travel. They're like, I'm going to keep it up.
I'm
doing
still going to wear the mesh mask.
Yeah, the same thing.
The
The Orville Peck.
Yeah.
Nice gator.
Yeah. I'm gonna.
With the picture of Obama.
Hey, welcome to the show, everybody.
I only wear the mask like real disgusting places like Ross Dress for Less.
So a couple things. First, we got Spark STEM Fest this weekend, an adult night on Saturday at Orlando Science Center. I know Sam's going to be out there.
Yep.
So if you want to check that out.
You gonna be out there debunking any good science, Tom?
I will be out in the wilderness with Daniel this weekend for my
Yeah,
birthday.
yeah, we go in the wilderness.
I don't count it
Yeah.
as the wilderness
Yeah.
the way you guys can.
It's not. It's not.
It's a wilderness. There's
no,
a porta
it is.
potty.
Yeah, there is a porta potty, but we are sleeping in real tents.
It's like
They're-
a mile away from society.
Yeah, if you scream, someone at a Burger King could barely hear you. Could barely hear you.
We've got Sanford Porch Fest next Saturday on the 25th, and then directly following that on Sunday, we got Semantics, a 6-year anniversary
Yes.
party. That's at Rock Pit Brewing. Starts at 12 p.m.
Yes.
We're all going to be out there.
Starts at noon.
So come out and say what's up and celebrate with Semantics. It's impressive to have a ongoing podcast for that long that's been
I know.
successful.
Especially since we've
it's a
been
grind.
trying to write emails to shut it down since it
Yeah,
started.
yeah.
And since
Yeah, we
hers,
tried.
She just powers right through. She's not scared at all.
Also, I want to talk about Manscaped, a new sponsor of ours. And if you want to order from Manscaped, whether it be personal hygiene, grooming products.
Well, I tried that first, and I tried the
yeah.
ball toner. I got to get you
Yeah.
some of this, Ross, because it smells great on the balls. But it's
We've
a
got
little,
some extra. We'll
it's
give
a,
Ross
it's a
one.
DAS splash. It's like a and then like down there and you splash it up. But then I got the beard deal, so I used that this morning.
Great beard trimmer.
Yeah, they got this new beard trimmer deal, and it's like it's got a dial on it, so you can dial in your beard the way you want it, and then you can use it on the sides of your hair. Oh, Tom's got.
I need that so bad because
Well, that's the regular one.
Yeah.
I haven't got a haircut for like 3 years.
Oh, yeah,
and
it's
I'm
great.
also an old man, so usually when I would go to like Liberty or whatever, I would slip them $10 extra to do eyebrows and ears.
Yes.
And without that service in my life, I have cat hairs growing out of the side
Okay.
of my ear to the length of like 3 to 4 inches.
Well, this new beard trimmer that they got, the
Oh,
brand
you know
new,
what? I'm gonna
like,
give
go
Ross
get the
those.
beard trimmer. It's in the thicker box. That new beard trimmer, it's awesome, and it's got like this little dial. It's called the beard hedger.
oh shit.
Yeah, now oh no, that's the weed whacker. That's for your nose and for your
Yeah,
ears.
buddy.
Yeah, that's good.
Ears
It's
and
USB
buddy.
too. No, the beard, the beard hedger, for the side with the little dial. The best thing about that is that it comes with a beard brush, which I've always been a little too intimidated to ask anyone where to buy it because
Specific?
Yeah, it's like
Interesting.
a thick like one of those ones that you pull through,
Yeah.
like the way you'd brush a horse.
Right.
It's like that.
For,
and then
it's for hide.
Yeah, and it comes with a little wooden comb that's got one side that's like longer bristles and one side that's tighter, like finer bristles. And so on my lip line, and little scissors. So I can get in there, finally I can get in there my lip line, because you always have one, well, you wouldn't know. But you always have, that was me, and you didn't deserve that.
That's fine.
But
He's got it in the eyebrow.
You'll have one, well, you could use it there.
Yeah.
You always have one hair that comes down, and you brush it, but no, you brush it down, and you use the scissors to get it perfect. I'm going to get you one. It's awesome.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, you'll love it, dude. You could use it on your ponytail.
When you buy any of these products at manscaped.com, if you use promo code TOMANDDAN, you get 20% off your purchase and free shipping worldwide.
Free shipping worldwide.
So if you use our promo code with any of the products, beard or pubes.
Yeah, there's no other way to say it. Why can't we say beard to pubes?
Yeah, they said we could say it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Listen, you can shave your asshole with these things. It's a fine product.
Well, you know what?
They said say anything you want. I'm like, no.
Well,
Not anything.
Like, so they should have called it, I'll just say this. They should have called it pubes downstairs. Up here, face pubes. Right?
It's off-putting.
The face,
bad
my face
marketing.
pubes.
No,
Body
no.
hair. Body hair?
Yeah. Even that's kind of gross.
Yeah, it is good. Yeah, so get Manscaped and get rid of your body hair. There you go.
So, real quick, because the Super Bowl was last Sunday, have you seen the new sod conspiracy with the Super Bowl? I mentioned this morning with you guys, and no one here has heard of it. But and it's probably because of the stuff I follow and my algorithm on TikTok. I've seen it come up a bunch.
Yeah, I told you the only thing that I had heard about any controversy involving the Super Bowl was when people were slipping. And Terry Bradshaw said something. He was like, "This field is painted, and I want to know why." And then nobody ever went back to it, And I don't know. I don't like Terry Bradshaw now.
He didn't get the script ahead of time.
After he insulted Andy Reid.
So apparently, and so when I see this, you see these conspiracies. I don't really believe that on too many conspiracies. I think they're too hard to pull off, and most people just talk.
Most of the NFL ones are true, though. Most of the NFL ones always turn out to be true.
It feels like a lot of them
if
are.
there's money involved.
Because, the problem is because shit always happens in the NFL, and then they deny it, and then a videotape emerges that shows exactly that shit happened. So it's like, you guys are fucking liars. We can't trust anything you say.
So this conspiracy, it doesn't have to do with the NFL. It has to do with one person that is in charge or was in charge of the actual sod of the playing field. And apparently, it's this guy named, and they call him
Gump. It was a bad idea.
They call him the Sod Father, right? And he just retired this year. He's 94 years old.
How ironic! He retired right after the Super Bowl.
Well, okay. So when I started reading about this,
he's 100 years old.
He
for
is
Christ's
94.
sake.
94.
God damn.
It is the peak of sodding events, though, Sam. Once you've sodded the Super
But
Bowl,
he
there's
sodded
nowhere else to go.
Super Bowls before.
Really?
every single one.
Every Super Bowl. That's the hook.
Since the beginning.
Then he was due to retire.
Yeah. So, okay, when I read the story, and like I said, I normally don't believe in conspiracy theories.
First of all, you didn't read the story.
But no, I did. I read this one.
My God!
I read
then I'm listening.
Mainly because I was like, man, if someone knew about this before,
But you
this
heard about it
fucking
first,
game-
and then you read about it.
Oh yeah, I was like, you could have made, hundreds of thousands of dollars betting on this, because really, when it comes to betting like overs and this, it could have actually, you could argue it could have gone any way, but like as far as the over goes, you could have had as much money as you wanted, really, because they take unlimited money on the Super Bowl
what
side.
happened?
Okay, so the Sod Father, this guy named George Tomey, right? He's done every single Super Bowl since the beginning. And apparently when he started, he started working for the Chiefs, and he worked as the groundskeeper for the Chiefs for a lot of years, and in fact has 2 Chiefs Super Bowl rings from years past or whatever that they gave him because he was like the groundskeeper and part of the team or whatever.
Sod the field.
So
does the fucking towel guy get a ring too? How many
Right.
rings?
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Oh man, you
It
should
kinda
see it in
diminishes
baseball.
it.
You should see it in baseball. In baseball, they make replicas and they fire them into the stands.
Yeah, I've said before, you shouldn't get a ring unless you play
Yeah,
a snap.
I agree
you
with
shouldn't
that.
be a backup player.
No.
And if you sat on the bench the whole time, you shouldn't get a ring.
I don't even think an owner should get one. Players only.
This is my Super Bowl ring. I sold hot dogs that night.
It was a rough night. I was slinging dogs to the left. I was slinging dogs to the right.
Relish everywhere.
It was a bloodbath of ketchup.
Offensive line, defensive line, wide receivers, quarterback. That's it. Maybe one linebacker. Anyway.
If the kicker participates.
Yeah, apparently the concession people did get rings, by the way.
So the Sodfather. So the conspiracy being, because everybody watched Super Bowl and they were slipping around, right? And I did find this odd.
I will accept that only if they're candy Super Bowl rings.
The
replicas.
When I was watching the Super Bowl live, they mentioned that all the Eagles players, and they showed a sideline picture or video of a bunch of cleats in a pile.
I thought they showed Jalen Hurts side by side. They're like, look at these that he's wearing. Now look at these that he's wearing.
And they were saying like all the Eagles players had changed their cleats during halftime, and none of the Chiefs players did, right? And they mentioned that live in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, they were, and I think it was Jalen Hurts that they went to, and they showed his shoes, and they were like, well, he went to these, then he switched back to these, and
so then I read further, and apparently, like the grass that they use would in this season be brown, so they use ryegrass to make it green, so it looks pretty, right?
Wait, that's what you do for Christmas? Oh my God, you're the Sodfather.
And see, the ryegrass is that bright green color, so they mix in the ryegrass with the regular, I guess, Bermuda or whatever the hell they use for the field.
I don't know my grass.
And the ryegrass is what makes it green. Yet, if they use too much ryegrass from the people stepping on it, like ryegrass holds water and it creates creates slippery grass or a field, right? And that's that's a mixture that's up to the groundskeeper.
Well, who was the groundskeeper? We need answers.
Was the Sodfather, which has 2 Super Bowl rings from the Chiefs.
He's a Kansas City man.
And
through and through.
If you looked at now, you could say, and people were like, well, they both played on the same field.
Right.
But the slippery field.
If
and
you had advanced knowledge of what the conditions were going to be of this field.
And it also.
Or his ryegrass mix.
It benefits the offense and hinders the defense because, and this is, I know this from gambling because I've listened to a lot of gambling podcasts. And anytime there's a lot of snow or slippery conditions, it's always going to be beneficial to the offense. Because the defense has to react. So it's hard. Like the offense knows where they're going, right? Because they have to play, and the defense has to react, therefore causing like more of those fast twitch movements, which would cause you to slip more than the offense. So it's a benefit to the offense. And I could see a scenario where the Sodfather, who is now retired, that was his last game, somehow leaked information to the Chiefs organization telling them, hey,
like fucking called him.
Hey, it's me, that old man that shot your grass. And I put the 30-60 rye mix. They're going to be slipping all over the place.
Now, the only problem with this conspiracy theory is this would be...
this doesn't sound like a conspiracy theory to me. This sounds like what you just told me was the greenskeeper for the Kansas City Chiefs was in charge of the field. It stopped as soon as you told me that. I'm like, well, of course.
You haven't made any logical leaps yet. You've just stated a number of facts.
Right, and I'm all in already.
Now, we're drawing conclusions.
Here's the what would make it
That's
proof.
The closest Ross will ever come to agreeing with you, by the way.
What would make it proof, though, and this would kind of be easy to prove, if they looked at the Kansas City, the equipment manager and found out if they actually wore abnormal cleats comparatively to what they normally do. You know, like, were their cleats longer than they normally would play in an outdoor field? Because then that would tell me, okay, they did have some advance. But if it was
the same, wouldn't need to do that because the greenskeeper, right? They play there. So the cleats that they're going to have in play more often than not are going to be the ones that are used to the way that this guy keeps the greens.
Not necessarily, because I don't know the field in Kansas City. This was in Arizona.
Yeah,
obviously.
I'm just saying, though, but you got the same guy. If I go, if I'm Danny in a band, right, and Ross, and we're all in a band, and we're going to play the Amway, right? And I know how the sound goes as a sound guy, and I go, hey, who are we working with on sound? And you go, we're working with Jerry. I go, oh, great. I love Jerry. He sets up everything, and we do a sound check, and it's pretty good. You're familiar
with his ways.
He's bass heavy. Jerry loves to mix the bass heavy. And then we go to Clearwater, and I go, who's working sound tonight? And you go, Jerry. I go, all right. Think I know where this is going. Yes. That's my point. So that's all I'm saying.
And then people have gone back and analyzed every slip the Eagles defense comparatively to the Chiefs.
It was a lot.
And apparently someone went back and and like studied the tape or whatever. And
People say America's in trouble, but we got free time, y'all. We got free time.
Yeah.
oh,
That can be applied to a lot of things.
Eagles, the Eagles defense
Not in trouble yet.
slipped 38% of Mahomes' dropbacks. You know what I'm saying? Like, so their pass rush, right, which was really good this year, but they were slipped 38%.
They were hindered.
Comparatively to like 14% of the Chiefs. Like, you know, they just look and counted every slip in the game. And so you can draw a logical conclusion like this helped the Chiefs and hindered the Eagles in a small percentage. Now, you go back and look at the whole game, you're like, the Eagles dominated the first half, and then they changed their cleats after the second half, and the second half is when they really, so it was like, you know,
I guess
how much did it really matter? It's hard to say, but
here's where I have
it
a
could
problem.
have happened.
I got a problem with this, and tell me what you guys think about this. I don't know, look, with the way that we plan things and the way that we try to overthink things in our meetings when we're planning events and doing stuff, I know this would have come up if we were in charge of the Super Bowl, and we forget a lot of stuff. But it's surprising to me that, yeah, you've got this guy that's been doing it every year. I don't know that much about him. But no one questioned that, like, well, you're a little too close to this, or maybe you shouldn't be the guy, or if he works with a specific. My point is that if the Giants are in the Super Bowl and we're using Giants Stadium, then you mean to tell me you're not going to set it up so it's like more neutral to the two teams?
There's
playing?
probably only so many of this guy though.
Well, I mean
he's done it every single year.
Yeah, but
now,
why does he have to do it every year? I mean, there are other greenskeepers that do it for playoff games. There are other greenskeepers that do it for regular games, and it has to look great.
I guess when it comes, because normally, players are constantly bitching about playing on artificial grass because they blow their ACL out and stuff like that. They like to play on sod matter.
Soccer guy. That's
okay, well, who's going to do it next year now that this guy's gone?
I don't know,
There's somebody else capable of doing it.
Of course.
That's my point, is that they didn't put enough thought into thinking, well, you know, the way people
in
are.
2020,
I mean,
he also was the groundskeeper, and he got a Super Bowl ring when they won.
Right.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
they won that one too, guys.
Yeah, but
they
people
didn't think about that.
But people weren't slipping around.
A ring for it.
Right.
Like this was the only Super Bowl I've ever watched where
I saw another article, and now I can't find it,
bad.
where they also said that the name of the grass was like a Native American terminology for like frozen grass or something, which I don't know if I believe that or not. But it also comes from, I think they said Oklahoma. I wish I could find the damn article now. I saw it in there and now I can't find it. But they were like, and where is, what's his name? Jalen
Hurt.
They're like, where's he from? Oklahoma. This was a dig at him, and it's like, that's a little too specific.
People love that.
Yeah.
Well, that's the conspiracy
They were going
theory.
far.
Originally,
as if this dumb 94-year-old man is really got something against this guy.
What does make sense is the old man
he just wants his team to win.
about to retire and says like, hey, I'm going to sprinkle a little more fucking ryegrass in there. It'll be a little slippier. And then I'm going to tell the Chiefs, like, hey, wear your biggest cleats. And just
wear your big boy cleats.
But again, the first half, the Eagles were dominating. So I don't know how you could, but they'll.
I agree with you. And you proved your point with logic. So it's unassailable. But I remind myself of this all the time. Jim Thorpe, American hero, was going to race in the Olympics one time. And somebody stole his shoes. So he went to the trash and found 2 mismatched shoes, put them on, and went out and won a gold medal. So if you're that guy, you can do, no matter what the shoes or the conditions, you can do your fucking thing. So, it only. But again, in Super Bowl, it's the best of the best against the best, so fractions matter.
Yeah, that's where you can make the argument that did this 38% slippage
now, where did my Terry Bradshaw painted field thing come from? What was that? Because up until this point, everything that I had heard. Sam, can you
waddle
look that
over here,
up?
fatso. Get him out. I listen to people screaming to get Terry Bradshaw off there.
My wife is the number one
I
screamer.
love him so much. He's so crazy.
And now I kind of like just leave him on there. Like,
see what else he'll say.
Yeah. Why not?
What I had heard up until this point, you asked me if I'd heard about this actual conspiracy. No, but I had heard about something about painting the field. Like the way the field was painted was making people slip.
Jalen Hurt adjusts cleats. Terry Bradshaw rips NFL for field conditions.
Yes, that's what it was.
It was an embarrassment to the NFL because I'm sure as
then
they're
this
watching,
old man screwed it all up.
He did say
he's retired though.
He said the NFL painted the field and it's slippery, and I don't quite understand that.
Yeah,
That's a direct quote.
Yeah, he was on there. I watched that. He was
Well,
like,
he
Terry?
doesn't understand. They didn't.
Terry?
They used the ryegrass for the green.
he's a double
Hey,
man.
Terry,
Aw.
those numbers don't grow on the field. Yeah, they paint it.
Those flowers out there, those white flowers that are spelling out numbers are slippery.
The end zone says Super Bowl. I suspect they painted that grass.
He thought it was the Epcot flowers.
Yeah, I think he doesn't understand how they do the actual field. But so what I read, it was the ryegrass that made it slippery because it holds water or whatever.
He got knocked down a couple times too many in the 70s. He probably doesn't understand how shoes work anymore.
Back then, there was no
my God, he barely wore a helmet.
Do you remember watching football in the 90s, and then when people get knocked out, everybody would laugh? it would be like, oh, wow, that guy got knocked out. They laugh. Like, people would stand and mock. Like, the people would dance over them and laugh. Like,
You got knocked the fuck out.
Yeah. It was and then
A guy gets like a compound
oh.
fracture, and they like rewind it and play it in slow motion with like a wheel with a slide whistle.
and we'll end. We'll stop talking about football after this, but this has to do with drugs, and
Yes.
and I want to talk to Ross about this. So the story's been circulating around about Aaron Rodgers going to do this. I think he's trolling the media too, because he just talks about this shit, and then they invent stories like Aaron Rodgers is going into this darkness retreat for days and to make a decision whether he wants to keep playing football or not. The same shit for last year with the ayahuasca and stuff. So apparently he's going to some place in South America, I think. Although I don't understand why you'd have to travel down there. Like you could do it in like the hills of California, probably, right? You don't have to be in South
Yeah,
America.
you do it in New York.
Yeah,
Apparently, according to Neil Brennan.
There's places around here.
But anyway, he's going in this darkness retreat is like a hut that's completely blacked out. And they bring you in with a candle, and then they blow the candle out, and then you're in there for days. And they bring you food and water, and there's a toilet and a bath, and you stay in there in complete darkness for like days. And apparently you're supposed to have some sort of experience where you separate, this is what, you separate your actual ego from who you really are, and you become a different person. This is a whole thing, like.
I mean, so whether you go crazy is what happens, right?
Yeah. And then from going crazy or whatever, like this experience, then you are able to see or have some sort of clarity and make a better decision. It's bullshit. Or whatever it is.
I mean, yeah, whatever it is.
The funny part is like Aaron Rodgers is not like this has already been decided by lawyers and his agent. There's also
I don't know. We saw what Brady did. He retired, then he came back. Like,
yeah,
what the
but
hell?
he knew. And I feel like that was all planned out. Like, and that was for a specific reason. I don't think it goes. It could, but to me, there's so many people involved and so much money and the business.
Yeah.
And like $100 million business tied to Brady and all. So Aaron Rodgers and stuff. Like this has all been decided. Also, he's under contract, so it's like if he retires, he's out $25 million. And if all he has to do is show up to keep playing, he doesn't have to play well, and he's going to guarantee the $25 million.
I don't even know if he has to play, does he?
Yeah, in fact, if he retires, it would be better for the Green Bay organization. I think
it would
because because they've already signed him under contract. So they're the only thing he'll be screwing himself if he retired.
Correct, because it's already guaranteed.
So the story seems like a bunch of bullshit, and it's just the media wanting to be like, oh, he's going to this darkness retreat, and then
he's gonna make this a documentary.
Yeah.
He's possibly gonna film the experience.
Oh yeah.
He better watch out, because you can fuck around with psychedelics, especially ayahuasca, and change yourself.
Well, from what I'm reading, he's not doing any drugs.
Oh.
He's just going to be in complete darkness for 4 days and nights straight and only eating once a day.
Was he Chris Angel?
I think he's one of those guys where he likes challenging himself.
Yeah.
Also, beyond anything, I think he's one of those guys that likes the attention of doing these type of things.
Yeah, obviously he's releasing this to the press.
Yeah, but I mean, he does a lot of weird things.
Yeah.
Like no one would choose to wear the haircut he had this year, unless you liked attention.
So,
I mean, he looked ridiculous.
So this is my question to you, Ross, because I do believe that if you take a lot of edibles, right? I've done this, and then all of a sudden, I feel like I can think differently when I'm super high. Now, it could just be the way I feel and not based on nothing. It's just like you're super high, so you feel this way. But I do feel like it's like somehow I'm not thinking like I normally do on a day to day, and then I'm able to think of things that I normally wouldn't think of.
You know how I describe that is that you're like when I get that high, I'm able to like take out. It's not that I'm any more thoughtful. It's not that I'm accessing things that are magic. It's that I'm able to, in that state, focus. Like the distractions that normally would be breaking up these thoughts that you could still have if you could do it. All it's doing is like it's tuning that stuff out. It's like you're so high. To me, this is just me. When I get mega high, it seems like background noise, TV, radio, whatever, brown noise, whatever, just goes away. And then what's left is like me able to like concentrate or think. I don't know if the ideas are good. A lot of times I write them down. Some of them are. Like I'll tell you, one of the ones I came up with that I thought was like a really good idea, but I did it high was writing songs. I can write songs like better with their plain clothes on. Like sometimes
it
if
makes you more creative.
Well, you get in that flow state is what I think. It's not. I don't. That's again. I'm not more creative. I'm just able to take what I've already got, and there's no distraction, so I'm able to write it all down.
You're altering your consciousness, and there's a number of different ways to do that. You know, alcohol does it one way, where you kind of dull yourself.
Right.
So maybe you're thinking less.
Right.
And with marijuana, with your LSDs, with your mushrooms, you're thinking a lot more. And you know, maybe it's like garbage. Like I remember one time, like I had all the secrets of the world in the back of a playing card. I'm staring at the fucking back of a playing card, and just like all the geometric intersections and everything made so much fucking sense. And then I watched a documentary on MTV about how the Beastie Boys were the greatest band in the world, and that made a lot of fucking sense too. And that probably continued for about 2 weeks, and I was like, all right, I'm over the Beastie Boys. So like you're altering your consciousness to a different place, and you can do that again so many ways. Like this, if you do go in a dark room for 4 days, your consciousness is gonna adapt to like entertain you and make you think and stuff. You know, like me and my wife took a paddle down the fucking.
I thought you were gonna do something sexy.
Me and my wife got the swing out and started paddling. No, we took a paddle down the fucking run at King's Landing the other day, and like just out in the woods, away from everybody, just fucking otters and alligators and birds and shit. That alters your consciousness too, and you start to notice different things. I remember thinking that it's all just green. Just different shades. It's also green.
So now my question being, if you do have this experience, because I do think there's some validity in this where it's like thinking differently could help you make a decision or look at it differently. Right?
I will agree with you in that we've talked about my anxiety, and if I could wrangle one of these type of retreats or something, if it would like help me, and I'm going to agree with you and say that I do think there's a possibility that can help me forever. I've been told by people if I microdose mushrooms, it could help me. Although we need to look up that story about that mushroom. Did you put that in your news, the mushroom story? I'll pull it for you. Okay. You might want to add it.
So my question being, when you're in this altered state and you're thinking differently, and then it's like an epiphany where it's like, oh, I should retire because of this. And then that decision, though, should you wait or should you use that decision when you're in your non-altered state in normal life? Or is it a decision you came up with in this altered state, which makes sense only in that altered state?
Because you're able to see past,
when you're not,
I don't think he's going to be calling up Roger Goodell from the retreat. I'm sure he'll have time to reflect.
I don't even believe that this is actually how he's making this decision.
He even came out and said that they misrepresented what he said. He was like, I'm just going there for my life. Sure, I'll think about important things in my life, and that's part of it. But
I might have the most Tom Dan story of all time for you that ties into this. Okay, so one time, I think I was working for you guys at this time, and I was doing mushrooms pretty much every day, but just a little bit, little pinch of mushrooms in the morning, cup of coffee, little bit of mushrooms.
Oh, I bet that makes you shit your brains out, right?
Microdose.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. That's where I'm sorry, I'm a filthy. I'm a bad person. But every time, like you said, mushrooms and some coffee, and I'm like, if it's anything like a cigarette and some coffee, because a cigarette and a coffee, and man, I can empty everything. I'll lose 10 pounds.
What do you take? Some mushroom dust, or
maybe like a quarter of a cap, or just like a stem.
Mushroom dust.
And then just chew it. Kind of chew it, and then maybe like pouch it for a minute, like some tobacco, and then
Like a
wash
Skull
down with some
Bandit.
coffee.
You get the juice out.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah,
and so
like
it's just
that
a little,
rye
and
grass.
all
You
it
get-
does, it gives you like a little bit of a bounce, and like maybe like if you get into trail land, you've gone a little bit too far. But
Okay.
you know.
Trail land. I want to go to trail land.
How do you even know when they're driving?
I didn't get
You
it.
don't know until you get there.
There's the sign.
Oh yeah, and then at some point I found a guy who was selling these mushroom candies, like little heart candies with a gram of mushrooms in them, like chocolate.
Yeah.
And
With
I-
grandma
like,
mushrooms in them.
Dude, like a quarter of one of those to get your morning going right. It was
Yeah,
good.
I
so.
know
Well,
a lot-
hold on.
I mean-
Right to you is
Yeah.
wrong. Might be wrong to me. I'm like, I can't get Maisie to school.
You know what though? One day I did
I
this.
can't pack her
I
lunch.
did this for like 18 months, and one day I had like a little heart, and I was like, not interested. And I haven't done mushrooms since. Really, I don't think I've done
Really?
mushrooms since. Yeah, I just
My
literally the
God.
one thing in my life
Your
I've ever
brain
just
said no to drugs.
yeah. The one time I was just
I've
like
never said no to
the
drugs.
one thing that ever happened.
That's the difference between you and me.
But this story's more about yes. So at some point, somebody I had these little candies, and like I said, I had dialed in. I was real good with those. Somebody gave me like a homegrown mushroom, and I was like, all right, let's see what's up with this.
Homemade's always better.
And so
get you one of Miss Lucy's homemade mushrooms, baby.
So I get it's a weekday. I get the kids off to school, and I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, at the end of the day, I'll just walk to school, pick them up, no big deal. I'll like have this, I'll fucking pop this mushroom, clean the house, watch some fucking Family Guy, have a hell of a day.
Wow, that sounds amazing.
Walk to pick the kids up at the end of the day, and it'll be all good. And so I ate this thing. I sat down. I'm smoking a bowl or something. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to sneak a jerk off in real quick before this gets started.
Hold on, this took a turn. Hold on, you're like, I don't expect this kind of filth from Ross. I'm in. I'm in.
We're gonna go deep too. So yeah, maybe put your kids to bed or whatever.
Sneak a jerk off.
Jerk off. You'll like this, Stan. It was Mia Khalifa video.
I
Okay?
mean, the classics at this point, right? I mean, it's like, yeah, she says she swears she was only in 4 videos. Oh, there's 100 online.
that happens. Get up. I'm gonna smoke another bowl or something, but I start to feel funny.
Oh my God! You walked to school naked with a boner, didn't you?
It must have been the jerk off.
God, I
Not
think
the
the jerk off
mushrooms.
made me sick.
So I go and lay down. I'm like, I gotta have a lay down to get my head straight. And
proper lay down.
this is when I started to be visited by entities. Like,
No.
Ross, it's me, Mia Khalifa.
stop. Hold your fire. I think the first entity that came to me was God. Okay?
Oh, that's the ghost of
And I
Christmas
had-
whack.
I had a nice little chat with God.
The
and
jerk as big as me.
And then the devil came to talk to me, and the devil was dressed as Mia Khalifa.
Oh, God.
The devil.
Okay, all right.
And one of the things.
Hello, Ross. It is me.
I'm not gonna do that to you.
And so one of the things that was communicated to me was that if I ever jerked off to a Mia Khalifa video again, I would die.
Oh, wow.
Man,
If you
wow.
ever.
Weird.
Very
Is
specific.
that Tuesday afternoon?
It's Mushroom Tuesday.
And again, this is the beginning. This was
Oh,
like,
the beginning.
this is just
Did
starting.
you even
and
get
then,
the jerk off in?
What's that?
Did you get the jerk off
Oh,
in?
yeah, that
Okay,
all
all right,
happened.
right.
That
That's
all
why the
happened.
devil
when I was so-
came.
Yeah.
Are you scared your wife's gonna call you? Because that's what I like. When I get
Dude,
too high, I'm like,
telling you, I
supposed to
thought I
know.
had it dialed in, and then I got this homegrown mushroom, and again, I laid down in the bed. God came to me, the devil came to me, told me if I ever jerked off to me, I would die.
Yeah, I got you.
And then I don't know, 500 more different entities visited me over the course. They would just,
Oh,
they
that-
kept,
I don't ca- I
they
can't do
kept
that.
coming, and they'd be like, "Hey, I'm the entity of this," and they'd explain themselves and talk to me, and we'd have a little adventure together. And at some point, I fell asleep.
It's me,
'Cause I-
Jenny Jizz from the Sausage Castle. I'm so sick of sucking off homeless vets. I like doing it because they're good people, but man, are they disgusting. Away.
So at some point I woke up and I was still fucked up, but I was like straight enough to like get up, get a glass of water, looked at my watch. It was time to pick up the kids. So I walked,
Ah, perfect timing. Thank you, Mia Khalifa.
walked
would
to the
be
fucking school, picked my
scared.
kids up, made them a fucking PBJ, went about my day. I scroll right past me
Yeah.
videos to this day.
I will too.
To this day.
I will now
Dead
too.
sober.
Change your brain.
Dead sober,
only
straight
one-
in
So
my
maybe
right
this
head.
will help him make a decision.
Let me make an addendum. I can scroll past every one except for the one where she's dressed like a terrorist. I have
The one.
the one where she's got the headdress on. I have to watch it.
Well, it's a good point that it made you now fear something absurd that is not real, right?
I was given a bit of information by God or the devil, whatever you want to call it, or
Maybe
just
they're
by
one
my
and the
brain.
same. One and the same.
If it's just my brain, perhaps the scariest option, because then that's in there. And maybe my brain can make it happen. Who fucking knows?
Brain is powerful.
It really is.
Or it's a crazy hallucination.
Or
and then,
I was
now-
all wigged out on drugs. It doesn't matter. It's one of those two things.
Yeah. That's. I believe the fact that it kills your anxiety, or if you're like, it kind of rewires the way you think.
Because you're like,
about
if I can get through that,
Yeah.
I can get through
I wonder if
Like,
that's
it's
what it
super
is.
stress-
Yeah.
I'm sure there's a little bit of that.
But making a decision though, I think is a little too far fetched. It's like treating yourself because of
Ross
something.
made his decision. He's never jerking off again and be a collector.
Well, I mean, and not being mean to her, but there's a lot of other newer and fresher faces out there.
there's plenty of options.
That might need some eyes on them. You've had your 15 minutes of fame, and you seem to be doing well, and I wish you well.
And I don't have a lot of experience with it, but I've heard ayahuasca is the one that will make you like change your mind after. It'll put
That's
you
what I
through some
wanna do.
shit.
Yeah.
You'll dredge some stuff up from your past, and you'll come out of it being like, "Oh God, I got to change this, this, and this."
Well, wait a minute. Is that like EMDR therapy, though? Because you're basically describing what I did with no drugs, just holding those stupid buzzers that I don't fully understand.
I don't think it's quite as extreme as ayahuasca.
That's Advil to fentanyl.
Yeah, exactly.
Right,
That's
but
a
I
great
mean,
comparison.
they'll both kill your headache.
But wouldn't you?
but
I guess what I would say, though, is that I would rather do something that's not chemically pushing me to do something like this. If I can use my own, it's almost like that. It's like stem cells, right? So if I can use something that's natural, that I'm in control of, that isn't necessarily going to rewire me, right? Because I'm okay with being rewired. I don't necessarily want to be rewired if I don't need to be. Is there a possibility that you could ingest ayahuasca and be rewired when you literally didn't need that? Can you be rewired in a wrong way?
SSRIs kind of do that though.
I
right?
mean, yeah, they can put you in a wrong place though.
Sure.
I feel like though your
So
brain is controlling everything, and it's you're gonna be, because again, all the stories I hear are positive, and with all the positive, you think there would be a landslide of negative of like, hey, I did this, and
The most negative I've heard is it didn't work.
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
So it's like positive or doesn't work, or you just had an experience and you're kind of the
Yeah,
same.
you might
and
puke
you're
and
like,
shit your brains out.
yeah,
but
I'm glad I went through
Wow,
it.
I shit my brains out every day. Saying,
there you go.
I mean, maybe
It's
they'll
fine.
stop me from shitting.
And maybe it's self-selecting because I'm kind of like you, Dan. I'm like, what is it going to bring up, and like, do I want that gone? I don't know. Maybe I want. Maybe I like my neuroses.
I mean, for me, yeah. I mean, there
Yeah.
is a little bit of like being concerned about that because like there's certain things that I do like about my anxiety. Maybe I don't know. I'm still on my path, right?
But if you're like a football player and part of it is like aggression from, I don't know, some childhood trauma or something, and you come away without that and suddenly you're not aggressive anymore, it could impact your football career.
True.
I mean,
Maybe that's what's been going on with Aaron.
think about how simple it is when someone has a near-death experience, or
We need to talk to Seth
or
about
gets
that.
over cancer or something. Like they usually have a different outlook on life after.
Dude,
and
I
they-
almost got hit by a truck the other day, and boy, I was peppy for the whole rest of the day.
Well, sometimes
Right?
Happy to be alive.
Yeah.
it wears off, just like
No,
I'm
it's
sure the
gone.
ayahuasca.
It's gone, but yeah.
But it's like so
The
that,
whole rest of the day, I was like, oh, clouds are beautiful.
So that kind of makes sense to me. Like everybody talks about how they appreciate life more after a near-death experience or whatever. So it's kind of like it probably in the same Venn diagram of that. It's like you had this weird, crazy experience that you thought maybe you would die, and then you come out of it better on the other side. But again, it probably does wear off. Like you have to keep doing it.
I'm the type of person though where with ayahuasca and people explaining their ayahuasca trips makes me think I'm like, you're just saying that because you want the attention. There's a part of me that says that when they're like, oh, it did this and oh, it did that. Like when
But
people,
only specifically that drug? Nothing
no,
else?
all everything. When you come to me and you go, oh, you got to try this because of X. If you're like really over the moon about it, I'm usually like, I don't know. I think you're just saying that because you want
The
the
counterpoint to that about ayahuasca is that everybody comes to you and is like, it will make you vomit and diarrhea first.
But I like
Like,
that. I like
copiously.
that.
Can they
Yeah.
can they make one without that? Like, why does it have to be that?
New ayahuasca
Wish you liked
diarrhea
better.
free.
Wish you like better. Yeah.
I just don't. I don't want to throw up and diarrhea myself.
See, but it's about getting all that poison out of you, and you got some physical poison in you too.
Yeah, well, I mean,
And if you're Ross, you throw up, you diarrhea diarrhea and you sneak in a wank real fast. Right? You gotta sneak in a Mia Khalifa.
Can you get the poison out without diarrheaing?
No, it's the only way.
Okay.
You gotta get all the poison
Which
out.
would you
out of your
rather
brain,
do?
out of your ass.
Which would you rather do, diarrhea or vomit? Probably.
Oh,
well, he
diarrhea.
doesn't like vomiting.
Yeah.
So you like so.
It's like my son Max has a irrational fear of vomiting. Every day he's like, I'm thinking about vomiting.
Every day?
Almost every day. He like every night if he when he goes to sleep, like I'm thinking
That's
about
a problem.
vomiting. I know. I'm
my
like,
God,
stop. So I scream at him.
That's
stop.
how I solve the stuff.
And
in
he
my
doesn't.
house.
It's in his brain. I'm like, this is crazy.
I'm glad to see that you're finally adopting my ways of parenting, which is just to scream in their face until they stop doing it.
Does he gag? Does he like?
No. He's just he's afraid of vomiting or seeing
in the
someone
middle of
vomit.
his night? In the middle of the
Yeah,
night?
I'm just like, you're not gonna vomit. He's just afraid
it's
of it.
anxiety.
Show him
right?
that scene from Stand By Me. Get it out of. Get out of.
No.
You know?
Oh, he
my
sees
God.
movies. He runs away. People vomiting.
It's people vomiting.
Yeah, or himself. He's afraid of doing it
He
himself.
just doesn't like vomiting.
Is there
he-
anything that triggers his vomiting, like a smell or?
He hasn't vomited in years.
Does he think it is like in cartoons when like a hose spray of green fluid comes out of your mouth? Does he think that's what happens?
He's done it before. He just doesn't like it, and he's afraid of it. And it's got to be what I grew up with because I always hated vomiting, and therefore, like 14 years, I went on a run without
I'm pro
vomiting.
vomiting.
Like
I love the feeling of diarrhea and vomiting. Both of those are feelings that I like.
diarrhea doesn't bother me. That's better than hard poop. I've said it before, right?
I
Well,
agree.
hard poop rips your butthole.
Yeah.
Bleed. Like, the diarrhea is fine.
I like it.
Right?
There's a happy medium there.
I know.
None of it's
Yeah,
happy.
everybody
How
wants a
hard
happy.
is your hard poop?
Oh, yeah,
sometimes
no
I
idea.
Dehydrated,
It's like,
crazy.
Mike Tyson's spit
Yeah.
bucket down there.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Just saying. It's
His
bad.
hard poops are like diamonds.
All
man.
right, let's take a break. When we come back, Ross has got some news for us. We got some double mouth topics. What music do we got?
Yes, we do.
We got
The
new
name-
tunes by Mike Tyson Spit Bucket.
Not a bad punk band. The name of the artist is Hold Fast. The name of the song is Everything's Wrong. Actually, Everything Wrong. Sorry, not Everything's Wrong. We'll be right back. 1-844-TOMNDAN for our call. Show at TOMANDDAN.com for emails. We'll be right back.
Have you ever felt so lonely? You keep waking at the weirdest hours, wondering how you're feeling. I've been staring at the ceiling. Could I get up off the floor and lift this weight that's killing me? I feel like I've done everything wrong. Now I'm giving it all. I'm leaving the old life on this board, and I'm jumping
Knock, knock. Who's there? Squirt. Squirt who? Squirt is P. You dumb rednecks.
Right about now, you are listening to the incredible
A Mediocre Time with Tom and Dan, who kindly remind you that squirt is P.
Toledo to Japan, you got wings on command. You can fly like no one can. So come back from the dead, keep on guessing as you wish. Is she a wolf or a man? I'm a motherfucking brand. Ooh, I don't know who you got is, but oh my god, it's so hypnotic. I read you a song, you know I got it, so I flaunt it. Said you want it, iconic. I've been iconic since I started. I keep climbing and climbing. This shit is so exhausting. It's hypnotic, it's a trance. I said dance, gotta dance. It's your body, fuck the man. Dance, gotta dance. It's hypnotic, it's a trance. I said dance, gotta dance. It's your body, fuck the man. Dance, gotta dance. It's hypnotic, it's a trance. I said dance, gotta dance. It's your body, fuck the man.
That's my bad. I was reading an email of something we had to do, requirements for something. And I was like, "Oh goddamn! I didn't know we were supposed to do that." And then I was like, "I don't think I know how to do that." And then we were supposed to pin a comment on our Twitter or something, and I don't know how to do that. I was freaking out. Sorry, I was starting to have anxiety. Welcome back to A Mediocre Time with Tom. This is
why you should take ayahuasca.
Yeah, I need it. I need the ayahuasca.
All right,
welcome back, everybody.
Let's do some Ross news.
All right, I got to get his song though, the loudest and most. Oh, it's the news. Hold on, I want to do that correctly. Hold on, let me go to the news one. Here we are, and there.
Ross's piece of shit news.
Ross's news brought to you by Injured on the Go, Just Call Mo. And Tots with Ross, the Orlando talk show with Ross McCoy. You could download it anywhere where podcasts are found. Ross, what do we got here?
Mo DeWitt advertises everywhere, you guys.
Yes,
I know,
he does.
yeah.
Yes, he does.
Has he done a park bench?
I heard a Mo DeWitt ad on the way here. I was listening to The Weeknd CD.
Whoa, he's made it big time.
Wow, look at that.
Mo's great.
Speaking of, Mo might have been able to do this if the case had come to him. Let's go to California. Man arrested, drunk driving, blew a .08. And I don't know what the limit is in California, but that's got to be close, right? That's like borderline.
I thought isn't in Florida 08, .08 is like
I think
the limit.
.08 is what I thought.
If you, because I
think
knew
that's
someone
one beer, right?
And I don't know why. I'm seeing in the same article his blood alcohol was .11. So somewhere in that range.
That's a lot more. Yeah, drunk.
So drunk driving, arrested for it. He got off. Tom, it's the Holy Grail. It's what you've been searching for all this time.
All right.
Emergency whiskey?
It's even better than emergency whiskey. So apparently This dude was chilling at his side chick's house, having a couple drinks with her, when his wife showed up.
Okay.
His wife and his side chick began to assail him. I don't know. It doesn't say both. It says both women became enraged.
Okay, all right.
So he felt that in order to prevent emotional or physical damage to himself, he needed to drive away. I pulled over, fell asleep, and the judge agreed that was a reasonable. That was reasonable.
Oh, what a cool judge! That guy's
Hold on.
awesome. That's the coolest
You
judge in
just
the world.
do whatever you want to do.
America's coolest judge, Judge Jerry.
His,
They're gonna follow the law.
No,
Also, you're
he
putting
is
other
the law.
people in danger.
No, he
You
is.
could have ran away.
His
No,
lawyer
no.
argued that he did not create a greater danger than the one he avoided.
Wow,
That's
you're
a good
right.
attorney.
He took himself out of the
Hold on.
situation, and then cool judge was like, not guilty.
Do you think it's where people like judges just get bored and they're like, well, you know what? I'm gonna go against what I normally do this time. Like I don't,
Yes.
because that seems like the dumbest excuse. It would never work in a million years, right? Like because
But it
there's
wasn't
so many-
true. But was it true?
Even if it was,
It was true.
But there's like, hey, even if you were leaving a dangerous situation, you are then causing another dangerous situation. Like
Right.
Sam was saying, by driving,
And-
you
and
could have
he-
killed an innocent person. You were cheating on
And
your
he
wife.
clearly must have not been driving well if he got pulled over, right?
Are you
I think-
sleeping?
You're,
Yeah,
you're
they got him.
assuming that. And that's not facts. We don't know that to be true. This man is a hero.
And doesn't everybody know?
Well, how
what-
did they know he was drunk driving?
This man was a hero
Well,
for
they-
pulling over.
They found him asleep in his car.
Oh, gotcha.
And everybody knows, and this is an old Florida legend, that if you sleep in your car on the side of the road, you throw your car
Yeah.
car
No,
keys
you
in the
can still get
bushes.
around
100 yards away.
And as long as the keys, I think that is a loophole. As long as the keys aren't anywhere near the vehicle, then they cannot prove that you were driving, and you will get off.
What if you put the keys on the dashboard with a note that says,
No.
here are my keys?
No,
They
no, no.
can't be in your possession, and if you know where they're at, they are in your possession, unless they're sufficiently far away.
Yeah. So that's why you're throwing them outside, which is, I feel like it's,
Don't do that. No.
it's just
Man, I
too
found
far.
some juicy details on this story.
What?
So the lady, I guess she owns llamas that she kept on their ranch, and that's how they know each other. And literally, the wife walked in while he was performing oral sex on her.
Oh, he was going down on her? Oh, that's rough.
I thought the llama. I was like, what?
This got real weird.
I don't want to be crass, but I don't know how you go down on a llama.
Was it a male or female llama? That makes
Easier
a
on the
difference.
male.
Does it? Does it
Yeah,
make
it
a
does.
difference?
It's easier to go down on a male llama.
That makes a difference in
It's
the story.
easier.
Anyway.
Yeah, llama clitoris has 2 L's, though.
That's correct.
So what state is this in?
California.
Yeah.
Well, weird. You think in California, like guilty, if this is Texas or Alaska, I'll be like, all right. California is like,
California is just like everywhere else. There's a bunch of liberals in the cities, and then there's a bunch of different
I-
people.
Yeah,
that
this
are
is on a
fucking
ranch,
outside of
dude.
it.
yeah,
I
yeah.
immediately thought of
It's true.
what would be harder for the man and woman to cover up fellatio or the man and woman to cover up cunnilingus. And I think fellatio is harder because of a ding dong.
Yeah,
Right.
because of the moving. You could
Yeah.
you could do
the
cunnilingus
You
still.
just turn around and you're like, what do
Yeah.
you want?
Plus, if you have a boner, right, as opposed to...
I have a boner during cunnilingus, though. I just
Okay,
want to point
fair.
that out.
I don't
I have to talk.
Oh.
Don't ever say that.
Don't
That's
say
a
that in
horrible
front of
thing
your
to
wife.
say.
Oh, yeah, I'm just like, it's
Yuck.
like work.
Jesus.
My God, it's like breaking rocks. When do I get a break? It's like being in the mines.
Now, what about this, Tom? Let's say it's a Friday night. You've had a few pops. You're just a hair over the legal limit to drive.
Oh, that's every time. He's probably over that now, just from vapors.
Crystal's down in Miami with her parents. You're watching the kids. One of the kids.
That never happened. She wouldn't trust him.
One of the kids stubs his toe, breaks his big toe. There's no ambulances available, but you got to get your kid to the hospital.
One wheel.
No. Yeah. I
You
drive.
hold him like baby Jesus and one wheel him.
I drive.
So you get pulled over. You get a DUI.
Yeah.
Do you think the judge should show you mercy in this instance, or
Hold on, pause. In this example, do they take the kid in an ambulance after he's been tased and the DUI happens to?
state trooper just chops the toe off with a pair of choppers?
If it was an emergency,
Yes.
I feel like a life-threatening emergency, then I should
Which
be.
your definition of that from Max Tommy is a hangman.
No, let's go ant. Let's go ant bite. Ant bite.
Yeah. Oh, he I hit him with the
Damn, Crystal's sister bit the kids.
the EpiPen, and I have to get him to the hospital.
Yeah, you got like
and I'm
15,
drunk.
20 minutes.
Now you could make the argument that you're actually endangering his life more driving drunk fast to the hospital than after the EpiPen. It's like, percentage-wise, the drunk driving is more dangerous. So if they hit me with the logic of that and just the math of like percentage-wise,
sir, do you know what you're doing?
Then because like you emotionally think this is okay, but as far as saving your son's life, you're actually putting his life in more danger. Unless you didn't have the EpiPen and you're like, you needed to get him to the hospital,
Like
then
now.
it goes opposite.
Right.
Yeah, so it's case by case. But I see what you're saying. I can't believe this guy got off. That's
it's
absurd.
Crazy. It's absolutely crazy.
It's the Holy Grail. It's what you've been looking for all these years.
I wonder if we probably can't talk to this guy or the judge or anything.
He probably doesn't want to rub it in everybody's face.
Yeah.
Especially the
God,
cops.
it's
I heard
good.
he likes rubbing his face and stuff.
Yeah.
Hey.
You know what? I need to
Are
talk.
you naked? Do you think he was naked when he did that?
He was not. He had a T-shirt and boxer shorts on.
Oh, you do not
Say,
go
were you
down on
there?
your wife with
I read this article.
Well, I do not do that. I am nude when she is
Every
nude.
time.
Yeah.
Totally nude?
Every
What
time.
do you
Yeah,
like to be
all
nude?
four-
yeah,
Foreplay?
because I'm gonna get a boner while I'm doing it, and I have to tuck that between my legs like Pikachu.
No, come on.
You took it down?
Ross knows.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, or up. Depends on what stage it's in. It's usually in a 3/4.
Yeah, but it can't be in the boxer briefs. That's
Right.
untenable.
Yeah, Ross. This guy knows. This guy fucks.
What's
He
the
knows.
next story, Ross?
I got some parrot news for you, Tom.
Yes.
I think this was a guy out walking his parrot.
All right.
Okay.
They do walk. That's a lot of people don't know that they walk.
Oh, I thought you walk with it on your shoulder.
No, they
Oh,
need to be
God.
exercised, and your wife would say, "Oh, it's good."
Oh
He's
God,
out
it's
there."
slowest walk ever.
Actually, he took this parrot and a macaw out for a fly. It says here in this
Oh.
article.
Sounds very British when he said, "I'm taking him out for a fly."
The parrot attacked a man who was jogging nearby, made him fall and fracture his pelvis.
Oh man, what a pussy! Right? I mean, you want to immediately yell at that man.
Yeah. Was he old? Like you fractured your pelvis?
I don't know. Birds are scary. I like watching birds attacking people videos. They're funny. Even when that eagle attacked Trump in the White House, that was funny. Birds are scary. If an eagle attacked me, I'd do the same thing. I'd be like, ah, because birds are terrifying.
If
dude.
they beak chomp you, I
It's
mean,
terrifying.
it will hurt like a motherfucker.
So it is conceivable to me that anybody in this room, and I don't want to be mean, but I just think if any of us was being attacked by a bird and we were running from it and we slipped on a curb and fell over, there's a possibility to get hurt.
No, I've been jogging lately, and the possibility of just like falling and breaking myself is
That's true.
omnipresent without fucking
That,
bird
you know,
attacks.
with no birds,
Yeah.
it's still a thing. Yeah, you're right.
Although, what does a bird weigh? It's like 17 ounces.
Sharp. It's sharp, dude. Knives are light,
Right.
but if they're flying through the air,
Talons?
it's a flying knife.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a flying knife.
But I feel like if you got one good swat, I mean, you'd kill it instantly with a.
Yeah,
you
but
know,
but you
like,
don't-
quit covering your head and running away. Just swat at it. Your weight will kill it.
I don't think humans realize how slow their punches or their swats are. Like, you think your swat's like, yeah, and then you got it, but it's really, ooh, you know, and then
Yeah.
the bird's like,
That move where you go to hit the fly and the fly just goes, does
Oh,
a
the
big
fly
U
can
around
move.
your hand. Yeah, no, imagine a parrot does the same fucking thing and then pecks your eye out,
you
dude.
sound like an old man when you're like, flies can move
No,
now, boy.
listen. Who's got the most parrot experience here?
This man does.
All
He's
I'm just
right.
saying, the parrots that I've seen,
Yeah.
they're clumsy and they got fatty livers from eating too many
You're
almonds.
talking about Bubba.
Well, that's maybe
And
they
that
weren't.
thing-
yeah.
That
you
thing's
know.
got yellow Michael Jordan eyes and is fucking slow.
These are
Sounds like he may be ill.
these are clipped American parrots though that you're talking about. This guy's got a prime grade Taiwanese fighting parrot. It hangs out with a macaw, so you know it's rough right off the bat, right?
Yeah.
And then this guy's jogging, so I imagine the parrot came at him probably from the blind side, fucking Japanese zero style. Come from the sun so you can't see him and just zoom in. Knocked him down,
Yeah,
broke his
yeah.
fucking pelvis.
So then, so is it like a dog bite where
Dog bite.
Well, I'm saying you are now responsible for this person.
He's suing for money. There is also some question of should the parrot be put down?
Put it down.
like a pit bull?
Should this murderous bird?
Yeah,
Come
put them
on.
all down. You got to put them all down. I mean, they're just like pit bulls. Pit bulls, parrots. Starts with a P, put it down.
Well, you got to keep your animal on a leash of
Yeah,
some sort,
that's
right?
true.
How do you fly your fucking macaw on a leash?
I don't know.
Are there people that have birds where they release their bird into the wilderness?
Dude,
and
Mike Tyson.
And
The
it goes
pigeons.
around. I'm not saying pigeons don't count.
Okay.
Are there people that take their domesticated, beautiful, tropical, like, it's like a showpiece, right?
Yeah.
It's basically a Jimmy Buffett like stuffed animal.
Yeah, a big-ass
and you're
macaw.
launching it into the, and then it flies around and then it comes back to you. Are there people that do that?
I
Gotta
think
be.
so.
Gotta
but
be.
Usually with parrots and those big, like, those kind of birds, their wings are clipped so they don't fly.
But my point is that like, and this kind of goes back to what you're saying. If the bird's wings weren't clipped, it'd fly away from you. Like, why are you keeping it? That's kind of goes to my point. Are there people that the bond with the bird is so strong where the bird goes out, does bird things as a regular bird, non-clipped, and then comes back, and he's like, thank you. He comes into the house. He's like, good to see you. Nice day. Had a good day out.
I mean, I know they do it. I know we're not talking about pigeons, but they have the raised pigeons, and they'll fly far as shit,
Yeah.
and then stay somewhere, and then fly back or whatever. Like they'll fly to other states and things. Like so, I maybe with crows. Like crows are super smart. I don't know.
Bot10 Art in our YouTube channel says, yes, I know a person that does that with his bird. See, I think if I had a bird, that'd be the way to do it, because I don't know why that's attractive to me. I can't explain most of the shit in my brain. But having a bird and being able to release it and let it fly all around and just be a bird and then fly back to you. But then
Every good cartoon hero in the 80s had some sort of hawk or eagle to do his bidding.
You're right.
Would perch on his shoulder and look majestic, and then
Yeah.
fly and do like reconnaissance on Skeletor or whatever.
Oh, yeah. Fly. Fly. Give me like telepathically show me what you're seeing.
Yeah,
you're
for
right.
sure. It's the best.
Oh, I'm just a dumb child, Ross.
There's some sort of like tribes that hunt with like some sort of falcons on their shoulders and like on horseback.
Wait,
and,
a whole tribe of humans that hunt
No,
only
it's-
with birds? Because that's fucking
yes,
cool.
and they use the birds, and the birds will fly off and then go and subdue some sort of like animal, a fox or a small, like a big ass mammal.
Where's
of
this
some sort.
documentary?
And it's all over the internet.
Oh, I'm
and
into it.
And then
I gotta get on that.
It'll basically just hold it down because it's so big. It like and then until
Andrea
you get there
said
to
next
kill
year
it or
we can
whatever.
get the internet.
It's a crazy shit.
Middle East, they'll do hawks, they'll do eagles.
Yeah,
They got
yeah.
trained eagles, dude. They'll take down like fucking gazelles
Hey.
and shit.
In the Middle East, they take down eagles. Yeah, I heard about that. I heard about
There
that.
are
Bring our
giant-
boys home.
There are giant eagles and hawks and shit with like 6 foot, 8 foot wingspans.
You ever been
or
to a giant
something.
eagle?
I don't know.
That's just for Pittsburgh people. I'm sorry.
Next story, Ross. what is it?
Next story. Let's go to New Jersey.
Bruce Springsteen.
Speaking of 80s comedy premises, a lady got arrested for posing as a high school woman, 29-year-old woman,
21 Jump Street.
Hyung Jong
29
Shin,
Jump Street.
used a fake identification document, enrolled at New Brunswick High School. She got away with it for like 4 or 5 days before somebody found out how old she was.
I can tell any woman. I can tell whether I can tell. I can get within 2 years of your age. Any woman.
Well, I mean, there are people
Have you
that
seen,
look
Dan,
young.
there's a
No,
new-
I just got to see your hands.
Yeah.
That's a secret. If you can look at anybody's hands,
There's a
right,
new
you'd see that.
There's a new
yeah.
TikTok video trend where like a 19-year-old girl walks up to the camera and the guy's like, "Hey, how old are you? Let's guess." And she's like 44.
I've seen
And
these,
it's got to be just to enrage women.
Yeah, there's
the only reason
but it's
for
the
this
one
video
I
to
saw
exist.
was too egregious. It was like the look on their face when I tell them I'm 60. And then
Yeah.
she turns around and she literally looks like my wife. And I'm like, well, that's obviously fake.
You know what's weird is that I've never heard of a story, and speaking of like 21 Jump Street, of like someone sneaking their way back into high school and like assimilating themselves into like
Me neither.
You know,
Or like Never Been Kissed. Remember that movie?
yeah.
I don't.
Creepy.
I
But-
think that as much as we like to yell at our teachers and our school system, I think it's virtually impossible for an adult to go pretend to be a child and then go to class and like meander around campus without somebody finding you and kicking you off.
4 days she got away with it. Went to classes. Spent time with guidance counselors. Before she got arrested, some students said the woman had texted them asking to hang out, and
Oh,
then
no.
and then when it says here the girls never showed up. she started acting weird.
Well, that's what any girl would do. Maisie told me this morning that her friend said they were going to wait by the bike rack and wait for her before they walked in to get school lunch, or school breakfast, rather, because Maisie eats breakfast at our house, and then she wants to go and eat second breakfast at school.
Oh,
Yeah.
she's an athlete.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
That free breakfast,
Yeah,
yeah.
she likes a free breakfast. And I make fun of her for doing that, but then she was like, and they didn't wait for me. They lied. And I was like, well, you know, like people wanted to
They
go
were
in
hungry.
and get, yeah, they were ready to
They
go
didn't
in
get first
and do that
breakfast.
kind of stuff. And she was like, and then she goes, and the rest of the day, they acted weird. Just like this lady. Like this lady, that's what happens.
Maybe because you were making that face at them, Maisie.
Although,
Yeah, that mad, pissed off face.
like, say you
it
look
looks
at,
exactly like your father.
we've known plenty of people that look abnormally young, right?
Yeah.
And say
Dude, you're one of those people.
like at 25.
Yeah, but he's not looking like he's in high school.
Yeah, but at 41, that guy does not. You do not look 41.
At 23 years old, I could have passed as a high school student.
Yeah, you could have done 15, 16.
Yeah.
1993 Glasgow, a 30-year-old man claimed to be a 17-year-old from Canada, remained enrolled in the school for a whole year.
God damn.
Andrea, when I first started dating her, how old was she? 23?
I don't know.
I think so. I think she was
asking
20.
me
but-
because you're a wife.
But well, don't get mad at me. But like when you looked at her when I first started dating her, she looked so young. Oh my God, man.
I don't know if you should say that.
That's
No,
right,
it was weird.
I see old pictures. I'm like, oh God. Oh, I
Check her ID.
Yeah, but why is that bad? She's of age. It's only bad if she's not of age.
No, I look at it like, oh God, we're dying.
Oh yeah, that's true.
It's
That's
like,
true.
Yeah,
But
but
I look at it like, oh God, why can't you still look like that? I was like, what happened? And I'm sure she does the same for me, but you got to be vocal.
because I feel like in my high school, none of my teachers would. Everybody was miserable. Or like,
Why would you want to go back?
Well, yes, but I'm
To
sa-
hide
I'm
because you
just
did
saying,
something terrible.
I don't
right?
feel like my high school teachers would ever question some new student, like say like some new student transfer or whatever. They're not looking up the fucking if this person's like where's their address. You know what I'm saying? There's no investigation. There's just some other kid. It just
Yeah, but you got to go with your teacher friends, right? And the ones that actually care. Because Andres would sniff it out 100%. If Sam were a teacher, she'd sniff it out 100%.
Yeah, but there's kids especially in Miami. There was kids in my middle school that had full-grown beards and shit.
No, I
it was
know,
like
I
a
know.
Dominican baseball player.
Yeah,
It was
like that
World
kid.
Series candidates.
Yeah, that
it's
kid's
like goddamn
crazy.
This guy has like he's muscular. Like, you shouldn't be that muscular at
God.
13 years old. And it's like, but it's so, and no one ever, shit with the
I
World
need to
Series
see what
of
this lady
baseball.
looks like.
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
God.
I mean, and not to be racist, but
Nope.
Asians do look younger. Black people look
I'll
younger.
be
They have
racist.
better their skin.
Here, I'll be racist. I think every nationality except for whitos
look younger.
Look
yeah.
younger. Is that racist? Yes, but I'm
Tony
just
Moonjet
gonna say,
he looks he's older than me. He looks younger.
I'm
Oh,
going to be.
she was Asian.
I'm going to be.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, he said her name, and it's
Yeah,
like
yeah,
and
yeah.
I don't want-
It was. I can tell by the name. And if you show me a picture, I can tell too.
I mean, she does
Name or
look pretty
picture.
young.
Look, I'm being
and she has
racist,
acne.
but I will give you a list of all of my friends that are of other nationalities that look younger than me and you. All of them.
Yeah.
It's
yeah.
all of them.
Yeah. We're gonna go on a camping trip. Everybody's gonna look
Younger, yeah. And then they look cooler for some reason when they do get older.
Except for the wizard, older than
well, I'm just glad he keeps that hair
it's
long.
whiteness.
It's like, oh, keep the hair
and the
long.
grizz. So it just proves it. White.
So there's no physical way to tell. Documentation is flawed. The school administrators need like some sort of questionnaire, like who's your favorite streamer?
Can you tell someone's age through some sort of science?
Yeah, you got to cut their leg and count their rings.
No.
What was
like,
the thing that
is
was
there-
in the news about, what was it, like measuring their wrists
Right.
or something?
It was for the
if you
Little
do
League
this-
World Series. They had some sort of device where
I mean,
they
I don't
could.
know how accurate
So
it
if you
is,
go
but-
like this, if you hold your hand, if you go like that, and then you go from here to here, that's the length of your penis.
Or if you put your palm over your face.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Remember that
I
one?
heard
That's
that
always
one.
a good
Yeah,
one.
that's a classic.
No,
I got Maisie with that one time, and then she was so fucking mad.
Yeah,
that
no,
I-
it makes you furious.
And I couldn't hit her, like I
Yeah.
couldn't
You
because
just a little
I
tap.
love her so much. Yeah,
Right,
just a
you're not
little
gonna
tap.
break her fucking nose.
You're right, exactly. But it made her so mad that I was like, if I continue to do this, I'll lose my best friend, and I had to stop. I was like, I'll lose her love
I
forever.
wonder
So
how they They figured it out.
My wife made me stop blowing the straw wrapper at her across the table
Oh
at
my
restaurants.
God.
She's
Classic. That's
I did
classic.
it one time, hit her in the eye, and she's like, never again, or we're getting fucking divorced.
Wow.
Never-
Wow.
And I never jerked off to Mia Khalifa again. But I think it was a bone density thing, Sam. I think
Yeah,
it was
I
like
think
some
you're
kind of thing
right.
you could put around the wrist, and it would like measure bone density in the wrist. And maybe there was even like a little piece or your wrist that grows in after you're 14 or something, and it could measure that, something like that.
So say you're a middle-aged person, human, and you. Have
I'm a middle-aged person, human.
You had no,
Yeah, the robot has to make sure he says.
I am a middle-aged person, human.
and then you had no idea for whatever reason, like where you like birth certificate, anything, and like can they
They found me in
figure
a
your
crater
age
in a
out
field in
with-
Kansas.
I don't know, man.
a year, like can they be
There's
like
a
this person's
range they can
33?
do.
No, I
Well, maybe not when you're alive.
Well,
though,
to
'cause
answer
I'm
his
thinking
question,
of like autopsies.
I don't think they can. Like, I think if they dropped you out of the sky and you were just a rando human that was 36 years old,
Yeah.
and then
But
they
then
go,
no one knew.
they could take some cells and some blood and everything, and fingerprints and everything, and let's say you had no record. That's what you want, right?
Yeah.
No, I don't think they can. I don't think they can.
I think
because they
it'd be-
can't do it with
but
pets, right?
You
with
can
your
tell
dog.
with skeleton, like Sam's right with when they do forensic science, like they're like, oh, this person's they get it,
They can get it within a range. Yeah.
we're almost within a year. Like this is a 35-year-old female.
Yeah, but
skeleton.
we don't know that they're telling that what
Yeah,
they're saying
yeah,
is true.
well, just take the
I mean,
word
because
for it.
they tell me, like with Maggie, my mom's dog. I told him last time she was in there, I was like, do you have any way of telling me, like, I know her to be 16? That's all I know. I'd like to be more accurate because she seems in, like, relatively amazing shape for 16. Like, she's jumping
yeah.
and leaping. You've seen her. She ain't 16. And they're like, we have no way of knowing. So I'm like, well.
Well, I mean, again, that's alive. But I mean, when you're dead and they can study your bones,
Yeah, but
it's all in the bones, baby.
But
But
you
can't
can
they
do
study your
x-rays.
bones now,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
They could take a sliver of bone. They could
Or
like go in there
I don't
and
know.
get some marrow out of there.
because they could take
We'll
an
ask
X-ray
Alina.
of your skull
we
or
should
teeth.
ask Alina.
I think it's in the teeth. Something. There's
Yeah.
something
I'm sure
in the
there's some
teeth.
stuff in the
As
It's
a-
teeth.
always in the teeth.
It'd probably be easier as a kid because there's certain developmental milestones.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
as a baby, your fontanelle closes. They know that that's like within 1 to 2 years or something. And
I
then
kept mine open like the new Mercedes Benz, wide open.
if like your wisdom teeth start to come in your early 20s,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
if those are pushing in the back, you're probably in your early 20s.
Everybody
and then-
here have their wisdom teeth removed?
I had 7 pulled out of my fucking
remember
skull.
that.
God, I
Yeah.
had 4 pulled out of me. Yeah,
Yeah, I got mine.
yeah. Everybody here, right? Oh, it's terrible.
Should be proof that we weren't designed. Anyway.
But the
No,
banana,
I-
Tom. The banana.
yeah.
I love that video, and I can't find it. The original one.
Kirk Cameron, they took it down?
Yeah, well, the original one with the guy and Kirk. You can find the one with the guy
Okay.
and no Kirk.
Okay.
I can't find. If you can find it, send it to me. I want to show it to Maisie.
Let's
I'm
do
joking.
another story. Ross.
All right. This is Berlin. You guys are in the public eye. You produce content. You've gotten bad reviews before.
Oh, there's one on there now that says
Where?
On iTunes. It's not new, but it's one on there now that says 1 star, drop Dan, waiting for the Tom and Sam show.
Oh, okay.
Oh, be quiet.
Yeah.
You don't want that.
Well, I mean,
It's just us sitting there in dead silence.
I didn't think about that.
Russ got a new iPhone. All right. Berlin, German newspaper critic. She's at the Hanover State Opera House. It's a premiere night, right? I think it was like a smoking break or something. This guy, Weiske Huster, comes up to her, and she has written a column about him that he does not appreciate. And
Okay.
he exchanges words with her, and at a certain point, the exchange gets to the point where words can no longer demonstrate how upset he is with her criticism of him. So he reaches into his pocket, pulls out a brown paper bag, puts his hand into it. It comes out smeared with feces, which he wipes on her face.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
poop
wow.
bag.
No, but that's the worst. I feel like for that you got to go to jail or be executed or something. No, that's so bad. Like
On
if
the
I,
spot,
No,
yeah.
but seriously, if you and I were arguing and
Yes.
I reach into a bag and I smear poop on your face and they restrain me, I feel like they have to lock me up for like 25 years or something. Like that's really bad, man.
Yes.
You could get diseases from that. And look, point made.
By the way,
I was like, you planned this. You
How
brought
long
this
did you
bag of
sit-
shit.
How long
here.
did you sit there
Like,
with a shit bag?
that's
in your
my point.
pocket?
Death penalty for a shit attack in general, but premeditated shit attack,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
you brought it in a paper
Premeditated.
bag, That's drawn and quartered with fucking horses.
Because
It's terrible.
I can understand you're like, oh, I'm so mad at you. All of a sudden you pull your pants out and just start shitting on the floor.
Yeah,
and
you can
anger.
understand
That's
that.
fine. That's fine. That's
Well,
fine.
if you
The
put-
Miami shit handle is still
Yeah.
fine. That's still in play. That's not what I'm saying here. You took shit and you smeared it on my face.
You
That's
brought shit.
Yeah, you
That's a
brought-
whole
you-
different level of.
you
No,
brought-
you can bring it. You can bring it and smear it under the handles of my car, my Mercedes. That's fine. You, as you're leaving the opera house or whatever, you walk by my Lamborghini, you smear it all over the air fin, or you start smashing it in my grill. That's fine. But the minute you take that shit and you smear it on my body, it's changed the whole game.
I
Oh,
remember,
that one rattled me, Ross.
I remember with the smearing shit on someone's face. I remember watching.
And it's not even your shit. Like, I'm not even an anti-shit guy, but it's just somebody else's shit on my face.
The theory, it's definitely animal shit. They think probably dog.
Okay.
Oh, okay. That's less.
all right,
That's
hold
less.
on.
Dog
Let me-
shit is not- yeah,
I
yeah,
calmed
yeah.
down a little bit. I calmed down
No.
a little bit. Yeah, I calmed
Human
down a little
shit
bit.
is
I
way
thought it
more
was,
gross.
Thank you. I thought it was human shit.
But this some dog shit you just found on the ground. Who knows what that dog's eating? Who knows if it's up on its meds?
I have always, and I don't know if this is to be true, but I think my dad told me this, and he was not smart. I believe that my dad told me that you can't get any disease from any other animal. Like, only humans get human diseases. And that's not true, but I'm going to go with it until I die.
Well, I remember in the video CKY2K with old Bam Margera and friends.
Oh, why you got to bring it up?
There
He's
is-
doing push-ups now. He'll be fine.
There is a scene in that where they're sleeping in a hotel or whatever. I think I forgot who gets the shit smeared on their face. Maybe Ryan Dunn or whatever. But they take human shit from toilet paper that they wiped on their own ass, like took a shit, and there's like shit, and then he's sleeping, and they just go goonk on their face, and then rub it across his lips. And then
Someone's getting. I'm going to jail.
Yeah, you've ruined
Like,
my
I'm going to
friendship.
jail.
I'll never talk to you again.
Yeah, no, we're not friends.
Yeah, we're done. We're
Yeah,
done. That's like like dog shit. I think I could repair the relationship and eventually we'd work it out. But your own shit on my lips, oh my god!
That's
it's going back
fighting
right
for
where I
sure.
was again, Ross.
You're swinging on that. You're smearing human shit on my lips while I'm sleeping.
I have a feeling too that I had a dream about you, and I know you don't like dreams. In my dream, I had two dreams. I'll tell you my two dreams I had last night. One of them was I was standing on the balcony of my house looking out, and the ice cream truck was driving by, and he was playing the music. Ding, 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 ding. And then Maisie ran out the front door to get the ice cream truck, and she was about to cross the road, and a car hit her, and she flew upside down and landed on her head and died. That was the first dream I had.
Why would you say that?
Well, it's just the first one I had. And the second...
Don't tell me that's in your head. Don't put it out to us.
I had that. And then another dream I had
Keep it inside.
Another dream I had was you, for whatever reason, you got somebody said something to you, and you got so mad, and because you're so like relatively even keel, like unemotional person, that it was the only time we saw emotion, and you just started punching someone until their face turned to hamburger. You couldn't be stopped. You were like, and you were doing that move.
What's going on inside your head?
I don't
know. You need the ayahuasca. Let's do one more story, Ross.
This is an old one, but Dan just reminded me of this. I think this was going around the internet a couple days ago, and I saw it. You brought up ice cream truck music, Dan, and one of the songs that gets played a lot is "Turkey in the Straw."
Oh yeah.
And this is sort of
Is that the classic? Like what we
How
know?
does it go?
Like
Can you do the jingle?
Or is that Pop Goes a Weasel?
No,
You just did Pop Goes the Weasel.
That's Pop Goes the Weasel. Turkey in the Straw is. I'm gonna have to.
I played on the.
Let's see if I can.
Is it the classic ice cream truck song? Because there is one that seems like everybody uses, right? Like when you hear it, you're like, "Oh, ice cream truck." So and they must all use it. Is
got
that
a CNN.com article right here saying "Turkey in the Straw" is the one.
okay? That's
the one.
the standard. All right. Oh, okay.
This is what Maisie heard, by the way, and I was like, "Oh, she must be enjoying some ice cream."
No, come on.
I thought this was "Do Your Balls Hang Low."
Do your balls hang low?
Do they wobble to and fro? Can you tie 'em in a knot? Can you tie 'em in a bow?
Can you throw 'em over your shoulder like a continental soldier? Do your balls hang low? All right.
So good
Sam
humor.
and I,
You don't know that?
Sam and I bonded for the weekend.
I thought it was boobs.
There was that one too. Do your
Yeah.
boobs hang low?
They're interchangeable.
And again, this is an old story, but I think it was was going around the internet again a couple weeks ago, and Dan saying ice cream music brought it back in my mind. A Good Humor now disavows themselves of Turkey in the Straw because it apparently the reason it became used for ice cream trucks is because it was used in minstrel shows, like blackface minstrel shows in the previous time to ice cream trucks. So people were used to it as like as a catchy little jingle that you'd hear, like you'd see some guy in blackface telling jokes to, and so it was like a thing people were used to, and so ice cream trucks adopted it, and thusly Good Humor disavowed themselves of it. RZA wrote a new ice cream truck jingle.
Really?
Okay.
Yeah.
And Dan, you can look that up if you want to. It's just RZA ice cream truck jingle, and it's pretty good.
So,
but brace yourself. It's not a fucking Wu-Tang Clan song. It's not. It's a jingle.
Yeah, well, yeah.
It's a straight up like ice cream truck jingle.
I spelled RZA wrong. I put an I in there for.
Ha!
No, there it is. Okay, I got it. Here's the new one. Ready?
not
like
my
it.
ice cream truck.
Oh.
I like
I
the
like
original.
it.
Yeah, sounds a little woke. If you ask me.
Yeah, now they're changing everything.
Next, they're gonna take out my monuments.
Oh.
Used to be a time when you could get yourself a strawberry Good Humor and go sit next to General Lee, underneath General Lee, and eat it in the peace and quiet.
By the way, I've already done the math that if it's real old, it's bad. Like something bad surrounded it. Everything was bad, or different than it was now.
Here's what I would say
and
about
it's
it.
bad. Like,
Here's
it
what
is 100 years old bad. Like,
here's why I don't
bad.
like it. It is, it's just generic. It's fine.
Sure.
I just wish I would say it's a great start, RZA. I think we need a little. I would say make it more Wu-Tang. Why not? Everybody likes Wu-Tang.
Well, he wants to make it generic enough.
But or pick a famous American song and just make it that. You know, I mean.
But anytime I hear minstrel shows, I can't stop thinking about it. Period.
So here's, I guess, will they be getting this free? Will Good Humor be like gifting this to all of those? Or are they going to make them pay for it? Because see, that's the problem.
I feel like in this town,
They
at
should
least,
give it.
They're all like, boy, I hesitate to say gypsy trucks, but all gypsy. There's no like associations.
independent.
They're indie trucks. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah,
But
it's
if
all
they're-
food truck.
Well, here's what I would say: if Good Humor wants to do this right, then if they are the supplier of the ice cream, and if the indie trucks are buying from Good Humor,
Sure.
then you should offer them this jingle for free.
And upgrade all their sound systems.
Agreed.
Yep.
You got to do something. You can't. Yeah, it would cost them nothing to send you 2 speakers and a free MP3 on a flash drive.
It's definitely like a janky van that comes down my street.
Yeah, ours
Blair,
is
and
rough.
I'm pretty sure it's still Turkey in the
Ours
Straw.
is pretty rough.
Yeah.
All right, let's take a break. When we come back, we'll do some dump them out.
All right.
Got a couple topics. Then
We got a bunch on the dump them out thing.
we'll be off to the woods.
Yeah, off
Any
to the
bottom mix?
woods. We got bottom mix. We got it planned. Weird songs this week. This is Lost Boy Crow. The name of the song is Angelina. After that, you're going to hear Scott McKenzie. Hold on, whenever I say this right. Scott McKenzie and the... Hold on. Scott McKenzie and...
You think there's any BDMs that are going to be out at Peace River this weekend?
Yes. I already know of a couple friends of mine that are going to be out there that are BDMs.
It was shut down for a long time because of how much flooding they got from the hurricanes. Like the pictures.
I wonder if it's still soggy out there because a lot of the hiking trails I've been going to are like swampy.
I heard it's a little swampy.
They got the sod master on it.
at this
Extra wet and slippery.
at this point, I just saw pictures of all the buildings and stuff. Like the water was literally rooftop.
Over the top, yeah.
Like
Damn.
10-foot tall water. It was just crazy.
Yeah, I can't wait to get out there, though, and check it out. Scott McKenzie and the Ever Expanding is the name of the band that you'll hear at the end. But right now, this is Lost Boy Crow, the name of the song, Angelina. We'll be right back. 1-844-TOMNDAN or show at TOMANDDAN.com.
Angel onto my skin, stuck in my head with a spell on every tongue. I've been wandering the halls, trying to get out of my own way, or say anything that I Like, do you think about me? I do, what do you mean? I see the clouds when she speaks. They get out of the way. It doesn't matter what you're doing. If you want it, we can do it. I can't stop thinking about you. Do you know just what I mean? Top down, underneath the stars, thinking we'll never get older, never wanna be apart. I've been talking to myself again, dancing alone in the mirror. Just imagine. Like, do you think about me? I do, what do you mean? I feel a touch in the breeze. Suddenly I'm weak in the knees. It doesn't matter what I'm doing. If you want it, we can do it. I can't stop thinking about you. Do you know just what I mean? And I hope it's Angelina calling on my line, stealing all my time, because it's always Angelina running through my mind. Like, do you think about me? I do, what do you mean? I see the clouds when she speaks. They get out of the way. It doesn't matter what you're doing. If you want it, we can do it. I can't stop thinking about you. Do you know just what I mean? Doesn't matter what I'm doing. Do you know just what I mean? Doesn't matter what you're doing. Do you know just what I mean? Doesn't matter what I'm
You're listening to the industry leader, radio guys turned podcasters. And now the whole town is sucking our dicks.
Oh yeah.
You're listening to A Mediocre Time with Tom and Dan. Oh yeah, don't forget to lick our balls, bitch.
Every day is cold, and I'm all alone on an island of ice. I'm a polar bear. I'm a polar bear. Taking what I can get.
good one to dance to, right? Hey, everybody. Welcome back to a mediocre time with Tom and Dan. I am Dan.
I'm Tom. You guys were talking about the Super Bowl halftime show. When I was reading that thing about the sod father, back in 1967 for the first Super Bowl, the budget for the field was $500, right? So, and also,
So it was a Tom and Dan event.
they also the commissioner at the time told this guy, the sod father that was doing the field, like he asked, "What do you want in the middle?" Like painted on it,
Yeah.
for the Super Bowl, and then apparently the commissioner told him like, just do whatever you want. He said, "Do whatever you want." Like that's how small of a deal the first Super Bowl was, and now the budget is $750,000.
But he still just tells him
field.
do whatever you want.
Just for the field.
Just
wow.
for $750,000.
That actually I actually would have expected to be maybe a little more.
Yeah, that sounds low.
Like for the field. Like because
I mean,
like
it's only 100 yards, 50 yards wide.
Yeah,
It's not
but-
that much.
Because that's like a minute and a half of commercial time.
Yeah,
Right. When like the Jesus ad was 20 mil, and then we're talking about the field, I would expect at least $1 million.
Yeah.
It's just like,
Let's
well,
give
how
them an extra
expensive can it
$250.
be?
Hey, maybe if they put extra $250 into it, it wouldn't have been all wet rock. You know?
Oh, that guy did it on purpose.
I think he
Old man.
did. I hope he did. I hope. Like, what would they do to him? Okay, let's not to go back to it, but okay. So they go to interview him, and let's say in 2 weeks
he's retired.
well, let's say in 2 weeks he had cancer, and it's back, and he ain't looking good, and he's like, you know what? I want to tell you, I did that on purpose because I love my Kansas City Chiefs. What would they do?
Or let's say he's in good health and he's looking at 20 more years and he says, yeah, I did it. And he just eats free barbecue in Kansas City for the rest of his fucking life.
Yeah,
you know?
that's true.
Yeah.
Like, is there anything they could do? Nothing.
Well, if you're an Eagles fan, you want him publicly executed.
Take his fake ring away.
Oh, yeah, you push him down a flight of stairs or something.
Let's do some dump 'em out.
All right. It's the bit that cannot be killed.
We got too many topics on the list today. It's the end of the motherfucking show. So come on, baby, let's dump them out and play. I want to see your topics. Ooh, I want to also see your bottomics.
Where did the video guys get the oddly horrifyingly creepy videos of like real women pulling their t-shirts up and then pulling their bras down that form the letters D-U-M-P?
I like
that is really good.
I like that it intersperses a video of tits stumping out with something else. And
Yeah,
then, and
it's
then
great.
tits stumping out and then something else.
Yeah,
and
I
then
mean-
tits stumping out.
Yeah, it's great.
It's good.
TheDangerBrain.com for any of your branding needs. They've done our branding for 12 years.
Would they
Man.
brand me with a hot iron if I asked them? Do you
Yes, they
reckon?
will. Yeah,
That would
yeah,
be
I'll
pretty
ask
funny
Sebastian.
bet. I mean, if we were to do it. They've done some branding for our friends in Sanford, and I think it's open. I don't want to get in front of myself here, but I believe the joint
Oh, yeah. It's up and running.
is now up and running.
The West
Hollowbox taking over the West End's kitchen. They did the branding for that.
What?
Go check it out and get yourself some.
The prophecies were true.
Yeah, get yourself some, maybe some marijuana-inspired, creative, delicious bar food.
You tell me I can go to the West End, get food from Hollowbach, and it's weed-inspired?
Well, it's
Well,
just
not
munchies.
weed
It's
and
not really
juice.
German food.
Yeah,
it's
like-
just the kitchen staff
it's-
from Hollerbox.
It's like what you would
Wings.
want if you were dialed in.
Ugh.
That's what I'll say. That's perfectly
Wow.
said.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
what you will
Munchy
want
foods.
if you're dialed
Good
in.
wings.
It's munchy foods. So there you go.
So I wanted to talk to Ross about this because I expect him to have some stories. So
Oh no, the jet ski factory.
no,
And
no.
I've never jerked off to Mia Khalifa ever again.
So Mia Khalifa was at the jet ski factory.
I saw this video on the internet about stealing from your job, and then it made me think. I'm gonna put on the BDM page who is stolen
Okay.
from their workplace,
Yeah.
and then there was a lot of comments, and then I started reading some. It was pretty funny. If you're on the BDM page, you should check out the post. And I've even gotten some emails of some long wrong. People go further than I expected. Like these, I mean, stealing straight money. Well, I was talking about like things like people are like, I embezzled, embezzled
it gets
cash.
Sketchier, right?
When they have a specific name for the kind of stealing you're doing,
So I was funneling into this account, and I'm like, whoa.
And then I even read
you pocket a 20 from the cash register.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. Then I read some stories about and it made sense, and I never thought about it. But if you like work for some big corporation, right, and you got everybody in on it, like you could take them for a lot. Like, if you had all the employees, like the manager, and then the employees were in on it, like you could figure out a way to cook the books and show that you were making X amount and steal. You know, because
and everybody's in on it, and everybody's in on it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
You could probably everybody can make an extra $10,000 a year on just stealing and reselling. You know,
I don't have the story right here, but there was a good one I was reading this morning. This guy started a fund where you got $500,000, you give it to this guy, and he buys gold, silver, palladium. He buys precious metals for you, and then ships it to a storage facility, and it's stored for you in your name, right?
Yeah.
And that was all bullshit. He just took all the money and the gold and fucking fled.
Okay, yeah. Well, that's always you're like, well,
I like the ones that are ongoing
because I always wonder how people, because you could buy like precious metal stock and stuff, and like it's traded, right? So you can go on one of these apps or whatever trading apps and then buy
too many of them.
Like you don't need the guy be like, oh, I'm gonna buy it and ship it to my special storage facility. You're like, oh, okay. I feel like you didn't question that at all.
Here, I had a little toe in this puddle, so I can maybe clarify this for you. Like your precious metals people that invest in precious metals, what you're talking about, just invest in like stocks of precious metals. They don't like that because there's like you can divide it. That's paper silver, they call it. They don't like
they don't
like paper
real
silver. And then your hardcore guys don't even like the depositories because that's not in fucking hand. You got to have like some fucking American silver eagles in your house, preferably buried in your backyard with goddamn government can't find it.
No, okay, yeah.
So yeah, best case end of the day, you got some precious metal in your hand.
That was the most crazy thing I found when my dad died, is that his upper drawer had only pornography and small precious coins.
Yeah.
That's all.
Precious
old
coins.
Men,
Yeah, my
old
pop-up
man
had
loved titties and precious like his whole, and he'd set up all these tiny spiraled little accounts for my mom to keep her safe. Like he opened one here, he opened one here, he opened one here, and then he'd put like 500. 300, 500. So she had like 43 different tiny accounts that had gotten huge, right? It was nuts.
I like coins. I got a little coin collection myself. My grandpa insanely had a dresser drawer full of 1976 quarters, the bicentennial ones, which are worth 25 cents each.
Yes.
100% of the
My
time.
dad gave me a whole bunch of those. He's like, you are a bicentennial. Dan Lee, you are a bicentennial baby, born in 1976.
There, you got a reason.
Not only do these coins mean something to you because you was born in the bicentennials, but it means something when you'll be big enough, you'll be rich. And he gave me, and it's in the paper thing, and you open it. And yeah, they're worth
My
nothing.
grandparents, when the state quarters came out, they painstakingly, month by month as they came out, put together the first 50 state quarters
Andrea's
for
grandparents
me,
did too.
my cousin, my kids, and I have them all, and they're worth 25 cents each. But I
they're worth
treasure them
nothing.
because my grandparents, their fingers bled to find the fucking
Andrea's grandma did
Alabama
that.
one.
And there were two that I think that didn't have states. They just announced that it was like, we're doing the states or something. There's like two like other ones. Again, both worth 25 cents.
Yes.
They're not any more rare than anything.
No.
The opposite of that, my grandfather, Pop-Pop,
He used to steal money out of your piggy bank?
he had this glass, like water glass filled with these gold coins, right? And he used to give them out to like birthday presents, like a sister or whatever, like me or the.
What size of gold coin are we talking?
It would. At
like
the time,
a sack of Jawea?
it was like.
Remember that when they
like a doll. It was the size of like a.
So we're talking
like
an
a
ounce
dollar.
of gold, like an ounce of gold.
Well, I remember him saying like these are genuine Inca Indian golden pesos.
These were given to me from the Golden City.
Yeah. And then I remember
by Icarus.
And
do you still have one? I would be.
Yes, I do. I'm gonna bring it because
I would be fascinated to find out what kind of coin.
He was giving them away crazy, and I used to be like me and my sister
These
would
are
laugh.
given to me by Mr. Wonka.
after, and I used to think they were just because my stepdad had a bunch, like a coin collection. Remember, I told him it was worth nothing, and it broke his heart.
God damn it! You were so mean to that man.
He didn't know, and I looked it up on
Release
Google.
his bed. Release the man's bed and break his heart.
And then we found out that it was only because when gold went crazy and the prices went crazy around the recession, like in 2008 or whatever, the gold prices like doubled or tripled, and each one of these fucking coins, I looked them up after he passed away, it was worth $300 a piece.
Whoa!
And because they had $300 worth of gold, I guess, in them, and then so I have like a couple. My
It's gold
sister has a
plated
couple.
or something.
Yeah.
Because
It's not a pure gold coin.
Because
but-
like an ounce of gold right now is like $2,000.
Yeah.
And then a premium on a coin would put it like closer to 2,500.
Yeah. But I fully expected them to be worth nothing. But $300, I was like, $300 is like
where are the rest of them?
They gave the maid stole the nurses. Yeah. They're like,
He don't need these babies.
Yeah. Anybody who came in his house with a giant thing of gold coins, they took them all.
It makes working for white people a little easier.
You steal their
Steal
gold.
their coins. Exactly.
Doo-doo in their pie. All right.
I used to have a shitload
I know
more.
the equation. You call me the
I'm
N-word,
gonna steal
I
their
steal
gold
your coins.
and doo-doo in their pie.
Yeah, if I work for you and you call me that N-word, I'm stealing all of your coins and I'm pooping in your pie.
When I worked at 7-Eleven, you can't find silver and change anymore. Like people are onto that. But like when I worked at 7-Eleven, I could bring home like 3-4 silver coins a day. You know, just bring a pocket full of change with me. Somebody would turn in a silver dime, couple silver quarters, a few times a day, and I had them all out like on a tray because I thought they looked neat. I like to see them, and one of my kids ended up started stealing them and spending them at the school store. And I didn't catch on until like they were mostly
You
gone.
get that mechanical pencil.
You bought a watermelon eraser.
Correct.
I guess that my mom used to tell me that like, her only job was working at the bank, and then she's got like a $500 bill,
dude.
like any old bills and shit.
Bank teller is the best.
As long as you used your own money,
Change it out,
and
yeah.
change it out. And it's probably not like that anymore. But you used to be able to take the.
Well, there's everything's cameras now,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So if they saw you take you'd have to take it out of sight or something.
But they used to let you. Like the bank manager would tell my mom, like, as long as you put in your own $500, you could take this $500 bill.
Yeah.
Because some old lady turned in a $500
Silver
fucking
certificate
bill.
or something,
yeah, that's cool.
What's the next thing?
So stealing from jobs.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So have you stolen from a job?
Oh yeah. Okay. I remember like, I think this might have been my first job, even like at the food hall at UGA. It was like an art form to steal shit. Like, if you could sneak out with a 6-pound can of tuna or something.
Oh yeah,
you're a
in the
fucking
food
legend,
industry,
you
you're
know,
stealing.
like-
You're stealing something.
Yeah. And it was.
I remember the wizard.
Stole the bag of mayonnaise from Subway.
I
They got
never-
the best mayonnaise.
Yeah, they do. I hate Subway.
I hate Subway
but
too, but that mayonnaise is good as hell.
I like their mayonnaise. There are certain wing places where I don't like everything that they have, but man, I'll tell you right now, Gators Ranch, I don't know if I'll find ranch better than that. It's really good.
And the bigger the corporation, the easier it is for you to justify you stealing from it. Because
And when
you're
your manager's a dickhead, you're like, he'll take the blame for
Subway
this.
mayonnaise.
he
it might
doesn't
as well
like
be
this
air.
company.
Yeah.
Exactly.
See, that's a good point because when I was working at Daylight Donuts, which was literally like a fucking a sandwich stand in a donut shop, the smallest possible fucking company at all, and I'd make myself like a triple sandwich to take home. The guy had to sit me down and be like, "That's stealing."
Yeah. Well, when the owner stands like a mom and pop, you feel bad. The
And
guy's
I did. I
stressed
felt
out.
bad after that. And I made
It's a piece of sausage
reasonable-
and a double egg or something. Get off of you. Get out
but
of
But
here.
if I'm
$10.
putting like triple roast beef and
Yeah.
quadruple cheddar and like literally everything, I was making some monster
Yeah, yeah.
sandwiches.
It does sound delicious,
Yeah, it's really
Daylight
good.
Donut. Is it around or
Dude,
gone?
I'm sure they're still chugging away there in Statesboro. Their secret was they make the bread out of donut batter with no sugar in it. It was so fucking good.
That sounds delicious.
And then 7-Eleven, I remember, going in on third shift, you had to throw away all the taquitos. And it was like strictly forbidden that you eat a fucking taquito. God
Right.
forbid you eat a taquito that you were about to throw in the trash. And at a certain point, I would sneak into the camera blind spot and eat them for a while. And then at a certain point, I was like, fucking fire me over eating taquitos.
Right.
Like, I would just pick them off the grill, take a bite, throw the two ends in the trash. I just eat them right off the grill.
Worst case scenario, a robber shoots you while you're eating a taquito on the blind
Oh,
spot, and
man.
they go back and look, and they're like, "Fuck, you were standing in the only place we couldn't see."
I have a OCD anxiety problem every morning when I go to my 7-Eleven and I walk past the grill, because I always do, and I always see my ladies, and I love my ladies. Shout out to the Corinne 7-Eleven. I love them.
Mm-hmm.
But some of the taquitos will not be spinning, and I can't. I want to take the tongs and I want to tend. It's in my nature. I don't know. It's a thing that
you would think they would be able to make those fucking things round by now, but they all like every third one has a flat spot on it, and it just won't fucking roll.
I think it's the end of the bag or something. But like,
the food is growing cancer. It's got lumps. It's that bad.
And then
taquitos are good though. I mean, I'm not gonna have, none of it's good for you.
Yeah.
But there's like, and then I've always wanted to go in there, and sometimes I daydream. Even this morning, I was in there and I was buying this Mountain Dew in front of me, and I was daydreaming about looking at the thing, and I was like, what if I just told them, give me 12 of your quarter-pound Bahama Mama sausages?
They'll microwave it for you.
They would just start getting them ready for me.
It's happened before.
No problem.
Yeah, absolutely.
Me and
happened.
the boys needed some sausages for the site. And
go to the fucking little fridge and start
just
microwaving shit for the guy. Yeah.
Oh,
So I started thinking more of this because, like, I was like, oh yeah, everybody's taking something from their job. Even
I used to work for this podcast. I robbed them lunch.
Even if it's like stationary shit, like stuff that's in, like even like
this is a Bart Merrick pen. I stole this from Bart Merrick.
Like eating the stuff.
The misspelled pads were pretty great.
Like the lowest form,
Summerline.
eating the stuff that you're gonna throw in the garbage. I think everybody would be like, even though technically by the letter of the law, the corporation law, like that is stealing, but everybody would be like, who gives a shit? You're gonna throw it away.
Here's the problem with that rule. They don't want you putting extra taquitos out to throw them away at the end of the night. That's the justification for that rule.
Yeah.
I don't put the fucking taquitos on the roller. The second shift fucking does.
Yeah.
Fucking corporate fucking idiots.
Yeah. And I used to say with when I worked at Home Depot, like I'd be crushing a Hampton Bay fan because I was missing the pull string, and it would make you go to the fucking trash compactor and crush it brand new. I'd be like, let me just take this off. I'm poor college student. I'll take this. A nice fan.
There's a Reddit for dumpster diving, like people who go and they'll at Walgreens after fucking Valentine's Day go get 55 pounds of Valentine's candy or whatever, and every once in a while you'll see like, look at this shit, and somebody's just like, Nikes, they've just slashed open with the razors so nobody could possibly ever use them. You know, like
that's bullshit. You're cutting the thing so no one can.
Worse.
You can't give like leftover food to homeless people. That's illegal. Like these people are starving. They don't even have a home. Just give them the goddamn taquitos.
They don't want to be sued.
They want fentanyl. They're not that hungry. But then the opposite end of this, I started thinking. I was like, I bet Andrea, Daniel's wife, has never stolen anything from her job.
Ooh, she probably hasn't.
Yeah.
She has the most epic stealing story of all time.
What?
She's stolen more than I am. More than I am.
From her workplace?
Not from her workplace, but in general as a teen. Like I'm more of a nerd than she is.
Everybody had a shop.
You guys remember? No, she stole an NSYNC inflatable off the top of a McDonald's.
I stole a SpongeBob off a Burger King.
Yeah.
That's fandom. I give her
she gets a pass?
Well, she really loved NSYNC, so I
yeah, but did she ever steal anything from a job?
I feel like she's never stolen from a job.
I like how this is like grand theft, and you guys are not impressed.
I know, it is. It's
trespassing.
Like a $1,500 inflatable.
This
like
is
she
a
stole
number
it.
of crimes.
Yeah, and I don't even know how they like untied it, and then they had to climb up on
In
top of the
Florida?
McDonald's
Yeah.
and pull it down. Or
There's
something.
probably a law against preventing boy bands from advertising
me
in
and
Florida.
Andrea committed the same crime.
I can't believe I've never heard your story, and crazy to me that
I dated an idiot in high school.
And he
it wasn't
wanted-
my idea.
and he
I
wanted,
didn't even like SpongeBob.
and he was like,
Never
"Oh,"
saw an episode.
He's like, I want this SpongeBob.
Yeah.
How big was it?
Fucking huge.
It was bigger than our studio, or as big as this room.
Like a inflatable gorilla at a
Yes.
a car dealership.
Yes, dude.
Like that.
On top of the building,
yeah,
yes.
it was the size of the entire roof of a Burger King. I remember them.
How did you steal it?
He climbed up on the roof and he started untying it.
Didn't deflate it first?
You got to deflate it, yeah.
Okay,
And then you got to roll it off on top of your maybe your Grifton friend's car.
Oh, Grifton was there.
Oh, she was there. She
Allegedly.
It was her
That's the
idea.
greatest
She wasn't doing
goddamn
her homework, that's for sure.
Grifton Jess was there.
And
She's like,
did you ever blow it up like when she got home or anything? Like
oh, my
God.
wife is in there. Call in, Andrea.
I don't
Andrea,
remember.
call in. Yeah, her and there was a fat girl that she rolled with at the time called Big Becky.
They called her Big Becky.
Yeah, it was a term.
It was the 90s.
Michigan
You
people
could
are
say-
harder. They're
you
just
could say
harder.
that in the
Yeah,
90s.
Detroit people are harder people. And this is when my wife was in a Detroit gang. Apparently, she was in a
What?
Detroit boy band gang. There was Big Becky, and then there was like Horse Teeth Sally.
Definitely stole like barricades, stop signs, stuff like that when you were a teen,
The
right?
chat room's
Yeah,
making
yeah.
fun of me,
That's
but
from
my
the
wife is
government.
going to confirm this, and then you'll see true love. I know Big Becky. We still talk to her.
What
I
was
feel
the
it.
end game though? Did SpongeBob just end up in a garage or a carport
Yeah, he
or
ended
something?
up just like because I was like, you got to get it out of my house. Like my dad's gonna fucking kill you. So
He knows what did you get your goddamn sponge man out of my garage.
yeah,
I remember the
trailers don't have garages, but
Oh,
like-
behind the trailer,
behind the shed.
Under.
behind the shed. I knew it. It was close.
Oh, she's calling in.
All
line
right,
2.
okay, line 2. Let me see. Oh my God, you're a horrible, horrible human.
I am not a horrible human.
Oh, sorry.
So,
I got the other
how big was
Hello?
it
Yeah,
in
sorry, we got you. The other
Andrea.
phone line was on.
So do you remember, like, I mean, it went the very front of the whole McDonald's. So we went over to Daytona, to the Daytona McDonald's
You
at like 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning. They were closed. And snipped that banner right off and
Yeah.
ran.
Oh, it was
It was a
banner.
banner.
a
That's
banner.
different than the
I thought it was an
inflatable.
inflatable. You-
Oh, the inflatable's
No,
hard.
no. It was a huge.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it went the whole length of the McDonald's. So it was a huge, and so then to get it into my friend Becky, who you've already mentioned, her little.
Oh, you don't
Ford
want to say her true
Escort.
name. Say her true name. Say her name 3 times and she shows up.
That's me.
No, she doesn't listen to the show.
Diabetes juice. That's all right.
But she grew up in DeLand, so
Oh, okay. Shout out to Big Becky.
yes. But yeah, so anything in sync, we were after. So we went after anything.
And why
that
did you
had
need to have the banner by chance?
Because it was like a rare NSYNC memorabilia
What-
thing. We probably still have it in our house, Daniel. It's probably
Wait, you kept it?
It's on eBay right now for
probably in that-
$250.
the
Whoa!
huge Tupperware bin with all my stuff, with all my NSYNC stuff.
She still has all of it. You know our old studio is now
Yeah.
just nothing
Yeah, I see.
all of her
I broke my
garbage.
head. I'm like,
Oh,
yes, yes.
It's all of her
So,
garbage.
Andrea, have you ever stolen anything from any workplace that you've worked at?
What about that PR firm you hated?
Absolutely not. I've not stolen anything. I
Not a-
worked at retail.
Not a single
so,
meatball.
No.
What about
No,
Nope.
not even one. Nothing from IKEA.
even in IKEA?
No,
You
nothing.
didn't work at Old Navy? You didn't
Nothing.
steal some socks?
Paper clips from
No.
Wesh.
I mean, for sure you saw your employees stealing, right?
I mean, they probably did, but
Andrew-
I don't
Oh, they kept it
remember
away.
I mean,
Did
I-
you-
They knew she was the narc.
Hey, did
We're
you
like,
ever
stealing
catch
with-
anybody stealing ever?
I mean, like customers all the time. I worked out at the West Oaks Old Navy, so I mean, it was crazy out there. I heard you guys talking about poop earlier. I had a guy poop in his hand and wipe it all over the little boy's clothes.
If I can't have them to the boys, then I'm gonna ruin their clothing.
Yeah. You know, we're working like Crystal working at Foot Locker and Champs and
Oh,
even
I
Champs.
bet Crystal's seen some
the,
stuff.
the West Oaks Mall had always had this,
The West Oaks is like being sent into the wall. It's like Jon Snow. You have to go to the wall.
There's always
I
the
had
robbery
fights,
stories.
like, drop down, drag out fights in my store. Like it
Yeah,
was
I've
crazy.
had that too.
Black
Friday. Oh.
Why did the man poop in his hand and rub it on the little boy's clothing?
I don't know why.
He was probably mad. He was probably trying to scam like a return or something. We had lots of people that would do that. They would like go and clearly they wore it or something. And try to scam a return, and he didn't like it, and so he went to the back.
Well, there's
where the
only-
bathrooms
I
were.
like that he was like, well, there's only one way out of this. Like, I like that. Like,
I'm going to smear my poo poo.
all right, I love you, baby.
I love you too. Don't steal things.
All right, you either.
There's something to be said for getting so primally angry that you just shit on somebody else's items. You know?
I don't know if I've ever done that.
No, never.
I was trying to think if
That's
I've
a-
ever taken an anger shit.
Well, it's a mental illness for sure. There's a lot of poo poo involved. The mentally ill. What else do we got here?
Tom's tattoo story.
Oh yeah,
There's
well
some-
we didn't get to this, but it was really funny because he was talking about what. Okay, Tom's not one for chirping, and we had Dr. Tracy, who was
Oh,
on.
He liked chirping to her, though.
Well, Dr. Tracy is a scientist. He likes science.
She was on Mythbusters,
She was on
Ross.
Mythbusters, the reboot, and she's in here, and she does happen to be a very, very attractive lady. And she was like, "Oh, what's your tattoo?" And then Tom was like, "Oh," and he like showed his like, and he stopped for like a split second, and he had a decision to make.
Yeah. Because, and I explained to you.
I believe Hamlet put it to flex or not to flex.
No,
No, it has nothing to do with that. It's only about.
I
Like,
realized because of the tattoo. Do I go into it's a tribute to my dad? He died in Hurricane Andrew. Like
Right.
because that
She even brought that up later in the show, Hurricane Andrew,
Mm-hmm.
about like how it changed the topography and some of the vegetation.
and there's an awkwardness of like you point someone's tattoo, and they're like, "Oh, nice tattoo," and you're like, "It's a tribute to my dead
My
mom.
dead
that died."
dad, yeah.
Like he died a horrible
it's
death.
to remind me to not be a pedophile.
or whatever. Like I don't want
No,
that
I-
interaction when I say that to someone. Then they say, "Oh, it's a tribute of this thing. I lost my son," and you're like, "Oh my
Right.
god!" You're
I like that
immediately
better than like somebody's just got like I just like scary clowns. Like, you know, like-
But then it's over.
But isn't
That's
a
all I'm-
simple thanks good enough?
that's
you
what I
know?
did.
You don't have to go
No,
into
he did do
detail.
that.
No,
He
I
did
know,
do
but
that.
I'm saying I wouldn't even be like, I just like
But then
clowns.
I did another awkward thing where I was like, "Oh, thanks." Yeah, and then I'm like, "It's a boat and there's a star."
Yeah, you said it like a baby.
Because
It's
There's a
about-
boat and then there's a star and there's some waves right here.
And there's some water, and then a boat. Do you know that people? People can drive boats in the water.
Well, then I second guessed my my initial reaction was I should have said something
You're
more
overthinking it, man.
because now it's an awkward, weird thing. It's like, okay, was there any story behind that? You just got the random boat,
When's the
fishing
last
boat.
time you underthought something?
I never underthought.
You should underthink. You should practice underthinking.
Yeah.
Is it a tribute, by the way, to get the thing that murdered him tattooed
I
onto
know,
your
right?
arm?
Oh my God,
Ross,
You
I've
should
thought
see his
that.
back.
I've thought that
That's-
the entire time.
that's
You
what I'm
should
here
see
for.
his back. There's a-
well, no shit, Ross. I say that joke in my head all the time, and then I'm like, "Well, yeah, is there a tribute to the thing that he died on?"
Yeah.
Like, I think if you asked him, like, he probably wouldn't have done it.
You know
Have
what?
you ever seen
You
mine?
should
know. I'm
Have
just
you ever
guessing.
seen my
You
tattoo
should-
of
Was it-
lupus on my arm?
You should just leave it out so he's drowning underneath the boat.
I got the tattoo of the diabetes molecule on my forearm. My dad died. He was like,
God damn it.
I was young and I didn't think on it, Ross. I'm
killed
too
Ross.
lazy to get it lasered off.
Oh, you're not gonna get it lasered off.
I just don't care
It's
anymore.
a tribute. It's not.
Under Ross's logic, I wish I agree. It isn't a tribute.
It
Why don't
originally
I-
started as a tattoo
why
of the
don't-
boat, not a tattoo of a storm.
Why don't I get like something he liked?
Right.
Like the boat before.
He liked the boat, it just killed him.
Yeah, he liked it before it killed him. Anyway. I'm with you, Ross.
Is it any difference than Christians walking around with the cross?
exactly.
Like, come on.
Oh, that's
Same
weird too.
thing. It is weird.
Everything's weird. All right. What else?
All
is
right,
there?
90 mile per hour unicycle.
Okay, we
okay.
gotta talk about this. So these unicycles that I see these guys in all black wearing the Kevlar and they wear like chest plates and helmets and they're standing straight up like a soldier, just like Tom wipes his ass. Like they stand straight up.
I told
they're
you.
like this, and they're like, yeah, and they're hauling ass like, ying, 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 and they're hauling ass on a unicycle. And I've seen them hauling ass, and then I looked up, and they're like, "You're never gonna believe it. The 65 mile per hour unicycle is gone. That was yesteryear. Now welcome in the 90 mile per hour unicycle." And I was like, "What?" And Tom and I both are like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, it will go goddamn 90 miles an hour.
Which, if you know what I
Like a
say,
soldier.
you know what I say, 90 miles an hour is 100 miles an hour.
That
It might as well, right?
And then I
it
was like-
might as well be.
I mean, could you imagine? Because now I want to, like, if a listener has this, bring it by the studio. We'll let you come hang out, and then we're gonna do a show
I'll
where
give you a free membership if you let us ride
I'll
it.
put my dirt bike helmet on. I'll get some pads, and I'll go down Lake Baldwin
Man,
Lane
I don't know
as
if
fast
Andrea,
as I can.
Andrea hates these things. I don't know if she'll let me ride it. I got enough vehicles.
I've been
I want to
100
ride one.
I've been 110 miles an hour in a car
Yeah.
on an interstate, and that's a little bit, sketchy.
Yeah,
I've
yeah.
been 100 plus miles an hour on a motorcycle.
That's crazy.
On an interstate, and that's fucking sketchy.
It's sketchy.
That's like
agreed.
You got to look so fucking far ahead to be prepared for what's coming that you shouldn't be doing.
I did it trying to keep up with a drunk Shannonberg, and I did it in a charity bike ride, and I tried to keep up with him. I know he was drunk, and I was doing 100, and he's doing 100, and I just did it because I was afraid that he'd call me a pussy.
The first thing they taught us.
He would have.
The first thing they teach you in motorcycle safety class in Florida is don't try to keep up with drunk Shannonberg on a motorcycle.
That is rule 1.
So on like literally a piece of metal between your feet, unfathomable.
One wheel.
I know.
It's one wheel, and like
on a motorcycle is sketchy.
Yes.
At 100.
And this, like, I don't even know, like, I don't even know how the geometry works. I don't know how it stops. Would you just go?
Yeah.
Yeah. How do you slow down?
Well,
because there's a lot of weight up top.
It's like, you know, the same technology as a one wheel and a Segway or whatever. It's got that electric motor in there that stabilizes you and works like as you lean forward, it just goes faster and faster. But if it did turn off, you are rocketing. Your momentum is going to rocket you off, and then you're just going to slide on the asphalt. Like if you're going 90, it's going to take you. I mean, what would you slide for 50 yards, right? Why it burned your clothes off on the road.
Most of the guys around here, they have on the full Kevlar gimmick, but like, I guess my point is, if you're like, would you be safer on the motorcycle doing 100? Or safer on this, because
you have more control because you can't, like on the motorcycle, at least if you're going fast, and Ross knows this, like if something happens, you've got two wheels to apply the brakes to. Also, I feel like you can swerve out of the way just because you're sitting on it, and the motion of turning fast was going to be different than standing. You're not in the position to turn fast standing like a goddamn soldier. Like, you know what I'm saying? You're like, what?
I've been in a position on a motorcycle on the interstate where like I'm behind a tractor trailer, so I can't see the whole road ahead of me. It was rainy too. It was fucking raining.
Ugh.
And suddenly there was a giant deer carcass in front of me, like ribs fucking forward. And I had to do that. You push real hard on one side, it jukes you real hard to the side, and then you push real hard on the other side, and it jukes you back into your lane. And it's an emergency maneuver, and I'd just taken the class. Is probably the only reason I fucking pulled it off.
Uh-huh.
But doing that on a one wheel, I'm like, try to stop, and you're either you're flying forward from the head first, or it has some kind of anti-lock brake system, and you're slowly stopping. You hit the fucking carcass, or you try to. I don't feel like you can do that juke maneuver because it highly depends on your one wheel cutting, your other wheel pushing, and then cutting your other wheel. But that's the only way to do it.
Here it is. Here it is right here, so you guys can see it. It is.
And just to get, like, people are like, oh, you have a one wheel, Tom. What are you talking? My one wheel, the max, I got the version 1 is 12 miles an hour. Even like the XR version now will go like maybe 19 or some shit. You know what I'm saying? Fucking 90 miles an hour is absurd. It's crazy.
It weighs 110 pounds.
Wow.
It's the InMotion V13 Challenger.
Well, it needs a big-ass electric motor to go that fast.
Yeah, there it is. You can get it with suspension or without. Without, you're just going to die, I guess. You hit something, you just fly.
So you're sitting on that. That's kind of like a one-wheeled motorcycle.
No. You're not sitting on that.
It doesn't even come up to your knees.
No. You stand on the platform on the bottom.
Okay.
It's
right.
like the Green Goblin's little fucking floaty device.
Yeah.
You stand on the platform.
It's the Gizmo Duck.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it is.
Blather, Skype.
We have to ride one of these. I want to ride one just.
What do you think they cost?
$6,000.
12 grand.
3,900.
Wow!
$3,900
It's a bargain.
Yeah.
A brand new one wheel is like $1,900. So it's like
$3,900. You could do 90.
You can kill yourself so much quicker on
this.
Oh,
here they are. I'm on the it's by the company InMotion. They make a lot of scooters apparently, but InMotion. These are the guys that make the electric unicycle, and they got a bunch of different ones.
Imagine being an I-4, because you can keep up with traffic, right?
Yeah.
You're going to 65 miles an hour down I-4.
I mean, they got them as, okay, we could get the little one. You want the little boy?
How fast does that go?
Let's see here.
Born to be
25,
cool.
25 miles an hour.
Even 25 on that little tiny frisbee is pretty crazy.
Yeah, that's.
Can I ride this thing if I can't ride a regular unicycle?
Yeah.
It self-balances?
Yes,
easier.
it self-balances. It's a self-balancing fucking thing.
It's easier. It doesn't require your core.
This may be how I die. If I kill myself on this thing, Tom, get a tribute tattoo on your arm.
With your ponytail and do-rag collection, nothing would look cooler. It's like,
dude, just tooling through downtown with a 4-foot braid whipping behind me. Yeah.
Just a trail of jokes.
Like, the tribute should be you.
Other comics would hate it. when
You
pulled
with
up.
a mic doing stand-up comedy, doing what you love, not on you writing on what kills you.
Hold on, you
I
on it.
agree.
What if we get him a backpack of speaker and a mic, and he's just mobile? He's 90.
I'm doing mobile
he's,
stand-up.
he's the 90-mile-an-hour comic.
I want a tribute tattoo, Tom. It's just me in a hospital bed, all hooked up to
holding a mic.
This is how it dies. There's the hospice nurse. All right, what else we got? Let's finish this off.
Just one more. So you want to do the vitality breath
Yeah,
work?
do the vitality.
okay.
Besides the fact that we can go right through quickly that just me and Ross are making horrible Bruce Willis memes last night.
Oh yeah.
And we're done with it. We got it out of our system.
Yeah.
We did it. We're
there is something funny and wrong about it. We're just like,
it's good and not good. All right, hold on. Where am I going to here? We're gonna do the.
So I saw these advertising, like basically a Facebook ad about this, and it's a convention that's coming here on Tuesday. And in the ads, it is a conference room, like in a hotel or whatever, filled where there must be like 75 to 150 people in this, and
Yeah,
they
might
all
be more.
They all have different mats and whatever. It's like everybody lays out their mat or whatever their comfort like square is, and then they have like sleep masks. Some of them have sleep masks, and then they're all screaming and crying at the same time, and it's some sort of like emotional stress release.
Well, they call it
retreat.
Breathwork.
Breathwork.
Yes.
And I do breath work. Like I do it like just slightly through like doing therapy and like just with
meditation.
meditation,
Yeah,
sure, but
and-
not like this.
And there's science behind it. I'm like, Wim Hof can fucking be in cold ass water that would you would go into hypothermia, and
I'm so sorry.
And monks do this. I believe in
Goddamn TikTok.
like there's science behind this, but the part that makes me so awkward and looking, I can't even look at it because I can't imagine being in a conference room full of people screaming and crying.
Yeah.
Like the whole, and it's so awkward to me that it hurts my heart.
And it's like real. I don't know what they're belly aching about. Like here.
Well,
like,
it's just they're getting it out. They're getting their emotion. But wait,
here.
watch this.
I have a theory too.
And it's a bunch of people screaming.
Now hold
and
on,
crying.
he's tapping her titties right there. What's going on there? Is that Mariah Carey in the background?
How awkward is this? Is this as awkward to you guys as it is to me?
Do you know why it's awkward?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
it's fake. It's fake.
It makes me feel the same way as like those crazy churches where they
Yes.
speak in tongues and
These
shit.
are people that he is preying on people's
Yeah,
egos,
it's like a
and
cult.
he's like, this is what I think he's preying on. He's preying on people's egos in that he's like, I'm gonna set up this place that you can come, and I've got 150 little areas that you can all fill up, and then you've paid to try and outdo each other on who can be the most inspired by my bullshit.
Well,
It's bullshit.
They're all screaming and yelling. Now
Because they want attention. Like, I want to be the person screaming the loudest
It could be
because
that.
I am the best. But no, I've seen these motherfuckers. I
it's
worked
so
with them,
awkward.
and they're fucking charlatans.
How could you be in that room?
You're right, because like
It's not real.
everybody's been in this situation where you've been reduced to tears. Like something high stress, not you, Tom, obviously. You don't cry. But like something high stress in your life has happened to
Yeah.
where you're like,
I've
I
cried.
just gotta like sit down and cry this
Well,
shit
I
out.
walked out of here because I was
Yeah,
freaking
it's-
out with
I-
that. My anxiety was going to
listen.
crush my face.
But what's happening here? These people are just having a regular ass day. They walked in, they were like, "Here's my ticket, thank you,
Yeah.
arm back."
And
this
how
is,
much do you
This is
think-
my mat, and then they sat down and started doing this shit for no fucking reason.
How much do you
Fake.
think a ticket is for this?
$350.
$350?
The one
These
in
people are
Orlando-
fucking morons.
The one in
Tom, what do you
Orlando
think?
was like 100.
Well, I was letting everyone guess
sorry,
first.
Sorry.
I was gonna go like a $60.
That's 120.
Okay,
It's 120.
You can go
Here,
see Shen Yun for that.
Let's
Right?
watch some more. Hold on, I want
See,
to say more
But,
belly ache.
like, I
Watch them
understand.
outdoing each other. So this lady's trying to barf. Not real, fake. You're a fake person.
Can you?
Fake. Everybody has a. Oh, she's got her dog. Fake. This is all fake.
Why is she
She's doing
stiff?
the Tua.
Why is she stiff arms? Like,
Is that Jason Mraz? Okay, hold on.
This person's got a sleep
You're
mask
literally
and they're slow dancing.
You're just videoing people that want to be videoed going. You're like, all
Now,
right,
hold on.
okay.
Now, the same thing with churches. Like, you could say, like, are they acting? Or are they having some sort
No,
of
they're
experience?
they're all acting.
And like, because if you do have if you cry or legitimately have some emotional release, you do feel better after, right?
True,
That's why
but
your
this is fake.
psychology. Can you force yourself to have an emotional release?
Yeah, absolutely, you can.
Why does it have to be in a conference room full of other people? Just do it in
Well,
your bathroom.
Shared experience,
Well,
perhaps?
my answer to that would be because there's no cameras the other way. The
Okay,
cameras are
okay.
here, and I can show these people that I'm the best at being a,
You're exactly right. Because like for $60, you could go to like 4 shows at Will's Pub and like have a good time watching, a show
and listening to
But
the lyrics.
these
or-
people
yeah.
want to perform instead.
They're
This
performers.
is they're
You're-
paying to
yeah,
perform.
Perfect performers.
I would like to talk to someone who would go to someone or is going to
Oh,
someone.
I would
like,
go to
this is in
this.
Orlando on Tuesday.
Yeah.
Like, I would love for someone to go to this and tell us. Now, we've made fun of it so much, I feel like that person is going to be apprehensive about talking to us about it, but we won't make fun of you. I just want to
No.
hear about your experience.
Unless you perform.
I want to hear about you being in this room of everybody who's crying and screaming.
Because, like, when you get out of there, like, you don't want to be the person, right? Like, you don't want to be the person that, like, they're like, how was it? And you're like,
well, yeah,
I don't know,
I
man.
didn't feel it.
You want to be the person, and he interviews people afterwards. He's like, how do you feel? And they're like, oh my God, it was truly remarkable. I've done a lot of breath work, but this breath work was truly just, it anchored my soul. What does that even mean?
But in
I don't
religion,
wanna
this
anchor on my
happens.
soul.
This happens where I bet if you interviewed 80% of the people that are, have some sort of like, jump up and speak in tongues and go crazy,
Right.
if you ask them, they would be like, I wasn't putting on a performance. Like, I felt that way.
Right.
and I would just say you're a liar.
Yeah,
Well, no,
that's
but
bullshit.
I believe that they feel compelled to do
Yeah.
that, and they have some sort of something.
Here's
right?
the tell, though. It's going to be the same people every fucking week because they like that attention and they want it
Okay.
again. It's
So-
not going to be some guys just going to get
Well,
has
then it's a
never done it
pattern.
before
Right.
and is like sat at the back and avoided all. He's going to be like, yeah, today's the day. It's going to be the same fucking assholes every week.
But
The
then
chat wants you to send Tuttle to this.
Oh, they're gonna
if you guys want to go hide out on this,
the goddamn charlatan is going to be hitting him over the
He'll
head
be mad.
because he's
He'll be
going to
like,
be
"You're
out
Tapping
ruining
his
it."
titties.
Yeah, he was tapping that lady's titty.
Was
I was
weird.
going to propose send me to this shit. I'll sit down on a mat, like wait for them to make the announcement, and then I just start laughing.
Well,
I just start like pointing at people and laughing.
I see. Well, because I do feel like do whatever makes you happy. Who
Yeah.
gives a shit? It's not me going there or whatever. Like
I draw a line at this bullshit.
I would go, though, but only to shit all over.
This makes you
Oh,
happy.
man.
You're a bad person.
Yeah, I agree.
It's like it's so awkward. How are you not embarrassed
watch
at
it.
all?
I wanna watch
Just-
it.
Who are these people that are not embarrassed?
I wanna
by,
watch a little bit more.
their behavior. in front of-
Pedophiles, serial killers, people crying in public. Hard no.
Tapping the titties. Tapping. You gotta tap them titties. He pushes their fat belly. I like that guy's like, let's go!
It sounds like Bruce Springsteen just got here.
So
Now, see,
awkward.
so hold on.
So
That
fake.
one lady right there
Yeah.
that you heard, see, they were videoing one lady. I
Yeah.
can prove what I'm talking about.
Oh.
They were videoing one lady. The lady you hear is a lady saying, hold on, the video camera's over there. I need the video camera. So she goes, like, put it on me, bitch.
And that scream was so fake.
Yeah,
too. It
they're
was like
all,
the fake
they're all
scream.
just
It's like-
fucking, you need attention, you little baby.
It's like Max
Oh.
dancing at the Solar Bears game.
No,
He's like,
that's
like,
no,
the cameraman,
no,
film me.
No, Max dancing, that was pure joy. There's a difference. That
No,
was
but
Yeah,
he-
but it's for attention.
Yeah,
though.
he wants the camera.
He
He
wants
wants
to be
to
on
be
that
on the
Jumbotron.
Jumbotron.
still more harmless than this. This is
But
bad.
for doing something positive, dancing is a positive activity. It's not just fucking rolling around crying.
people
no
are
goddamn
faking,
reason.
Ross. These people are just belly aching.
Oh man.
And it's
Anyway.
fake. It's not even real bellyache. And then they're going to
Right.
lie about what happened after.
Yes.
They're going to leave and they go, how do you feel? Wow, my God, I think it's changed my life. No, it hasn't. You're the same fucking attention-starved, horrible piece of shit that you were when you walked in here.
It's almost the only way you could even go to this thing is by not having a trauma to fucking need this for.
Right.
If you needed this, you would never go to it.
I want to talk to the guy who puts it on. You got 100.
Yo,
like
what's
this
his
many
name?
people for $120.
What's his name?
I forgot.
Swingali. I think his name was Wingali.
Dr. Tears.
You rent out the conference center. You get a PA. That's all you need. Everybody will bring.
I
some
mean, we could
blankets.
do this.
I gotta wipe down the mats afterwards.
We college Marty now.
Yeah, with College Marty now. Yeah, I try. That's a name you can trust.
All right, let's get out of here. Ross, are you gonna be anywhere performing?
Yeah, check out the Orlando Talk Show with me, Ross McCoy, on your favorite podcast app. Just Tots for Ross. And Wednesdays at the Bull and Bush, we got open mic. And then every first and third Saturday, including tomorrow, if you're listening to this today. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Tomorrow,
Yeah, you got
and
it.
Saturday, we got a shit sandwich comedy showcase. Really good one, too. We got Crespo coming in. I got Will Blaylock coming in from fucking Jacksonville. It's going to be a good show tomorrow. Come to that one.
Well, that only works unless they're listening tomorrow. Anyway.
Well, if they're listening in the future and there's time travel.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, that's true.
Thank you.
Take those mushrooms, go back in time.
Oh, and don't forget, don't get the thing that killed him as a tribute. That's about it.
Yeah.
Semantics. Samantha's doing her 6-year anniversary party at Rock Pit Brewing. Coming
February
up.
26th.
Yes.
Semantic Sunday starts at noon.
Yes.
We are going to have some brand new stickers that are Orlando Magic inspired, as well as Joe Byrne from Burn Pest Control is offering free beers. All you
Yes.
have to do is find somebody wearing a Burn Pest hat, walk up to them, and tell them burn them pests, and they will give you a ticket for a free beer.
Can I just ask for the beer?
No,
I
they
have
won't
to
give
say
it to you.
burn them
Yes, you
pests?
have to
Yeah,
say
you gotta
burn them
say
pests.
burn them
If
pests.
Joe's
He
there,
won't.
I'll be like, Joe,
Joe's
come
not
on,
going to be
dude.
there, so
well,
Yeah.
his
Are you
employees
here?
have to
Are you
like-
here for Joe? I'm Tom.
I know your boss. Give me a beer. I'm sorry.
and we're recording tonight with the hosts of the Fourth and Dirty podcast. Both Jesse and Evan are going to be on tonight, Semantics, and that will come out this Sunday.
There you go.
My wife's been working out in the field a lot, and a lot of people have been coming up to her and saying they know her boss from high school.
Really?
Okay.
Who gives a fuck?
That's an odd thing to say.
gives a fuck?
Also, we will be having a BDM show on Monday, but it's a wife cast we recorded this week.
Yeah,
So
way to sell the sizzle.
well, no. I liked it.
New
It was
content.
Yeah, it
There's
was
a
a
new
good
OG,
one. Yeah.
and there will be also a new ACT, all pre-recorded.
Yeah.
All new stuff for you guys.
So and we'll be back on Tuesday. So
Yep, we're gonna do some camping. Hopefully, gather some stories.
yeah, we'll have stories.
Yep, and also ticks. I hope,
Yeah.
hopefully,
Oh,
one of us will
man.
get some ticks.
Yeah,
Ticks
yeah.
are out, man.
Max is going to puke outside.
No puking for him.
They don't even stand to pee, Ross.
What?
Oh,
what are you
I
doing?
have
No,
to
no.
go through the whole thing. It's that they don't know how. It's those extra skin.
Yeah,
no one
yeah,
knows.
just sit down.
No
Just
one knows.
keep it in the
was like,
bowl.
oh, what is that?
Closer to the water.
How are they going to pee in the woods?
Have a
You
safe.
have to sit on the dirt.
They got
we
porta
bring-
potties.
Yeah, we bring the whole thing. It's
They
my
bring
pop
porta
up,
potties.
My pop. No,
Yeah.
no. The company.
No, the company does. They don't.
Uh-huh.
Like,
Oh
it-
no,
they-
we bring our boat porta potty.
Yeah.
Crystal brings it in.
Right.
I thought you gave that up because you had to bury all the crap.
No, Crystal's back better than ever. She says.
Back and better than ever. Oh
she,
my
she
God.
said she figured it out.
Jeez Louise, like an Elvis comeback special.
Have a safe
Tom,
President's Day
completely
weekend.
free. I won't even charge you for this. I will teach your kids how to pee standing up.
I try to tell them. They're like, "What is this
What
for?"
if that's
Yeah.
not that? I
They
think
like
that's
to
it.
sit.
What if that's dumb old man way to pee?
You tried. You failed. Time to bring it a real
I
one.
said. Oh my God!
Shots fired at the
Yeah,
end.
that is shots fired. I sit to pee.
Look at my children's dicks. All right, bye.
What a way to end.
We'll see you guys Monday or Tuesday.